Shout out to everybody here on the live. Thank you for jumping on in. Appreciate each and every one of you for being here, sharing your most precious asset with me, and that is your time. Welcome to the Crypto Livers Show, baby. We're going to break it down. We opened up a short in the trading group last night. Woke up to massive gains. Was able to sell it at the perfect time. I'm putting on my Liberland pin right now just because it fell off the other day. And, I was like, why? So my Liberland pin, ready to rock. Make sure it's right. I can't tell right now, but I hope it is. But that's Liberland, man. Look up Liberland if you want to know more about it. You can find out more, all right? I probably just lost my short trade, but that's okay. I've been banging on them the last 3 trades, so I'm 3 for 4. I'm looking at right now a short squeeze happening. Of course, right, when I show up every single time, no matter what happens, there's always a short squeeze when I come on to camera. Shout out to everybody here on the live. Thank you for being here, sharing your most precious asset with me, and that is your time. Welcome to the Crypto Livers Show, baby, as we jump on in to Bitcoin like we do every single day. Shout out to the channel sponsors, I Trust Capital. We appreciate you. We love you. Move yourself into a Roth IRA today on I Trust Capital. Nobody promotes I Trust Capital more than I do because nobody live streams more than I do 7 days a week, twice on the weekends. So God bless my channel sponsor, I Trust. We appreciate you. We love you. They have a huge advantage over the ETF, right? You can move the funds 24/7. What if the Bitcoin takes a big dump? You can't buy into the ETF on that big dump. You don't get access to that moment in time, but you do here on I Trust Capital. Also in kind, when you leave I Trust Capital, they're going to give you Bitcoin. They're not going to have to transfer you to dollars and back around and do the whole loop-de-loop. So I Trust Capital really has it made. Shout out to BingX2, where you can trade the S&P, Forex, and cryptocurrency all in the same exchange. You can't do that anywhere else. Shout out to the Chancellor's BingX. And my biggest sponsor, me, CryptoLifer.com, man. We love you. We appreciate you. You guys really push us to the forward. You give us a voice so we don't have to take money from anybody else, push coins, or talk about anything. We do not shill projects here. We are our own unity. We are like a presidential candidate that did not take donations. God bless everybody here on the live. We appreciate you. We love you. And that's why this channel really has a big following and is tearing up the market. And that's why we've continued to grow no matter what. Let's take a look at BTC. I was in a bit of a short here. It was in the money. We got in at 38752. I was in the money at 38563. It was actually in the money $200. Not too bad, really, right? But then we pumped back to the upside. It did not get stopped out. I'm keeping the stop on the other side of this channel here. And right now, Bitcoin is in a bit of a, kind of like a falling wedge now, bear flag-esque type of vibe. And I still see there's a chance that we move to the downside. The 15-minute is attempting to save the day here. And even the 7 too. See, you kind of have this bullish div here on the 7-minute. Pretty strong bullish divergence finally. Swing down as you get the swing up on the RSI. If you don't know any divergences, it's time to learn. And you kind of have what I call a double bullish div because this came down while this came up. And you're starting to finally try to round. You're attempting to round. What happens when a dump basically stops the dump? You start to get a rounded bottom. Like you try to round, but we rolled over. Last night, I gave a beautiful trade in the trading group. It was this pennant. In my defense, it was right just like this. But my stop loss was in the other side here. I was using the 1 minute, and I'll show you how I did it. I was using the 1 minute here, and when this came up and came back out, I said, well, look, we have this beautiful support zone here that we bounce. And I said, I'm going to keep my stop here. It looks like we SR flipped. We came back. We got resistance. We came back up. So I played what was a descending triangle to me. That's what it looked like. We came out a little bit, came back in, and then when I woke up this morning, somewhere around the lows, I sold and was very, very happy with the gain. If anyone took gains in the trading group, you were able to see what I was seeing. I put it out to Twitter just so you could kind of see what I was talking about on my Twitter account today. And I showed you kind of exactly what I was saying here. Last night, my trading group, I put out a short to the group. Here was the short. Stop loss on the other side, right? Because that was an SR flip. All I was doing was playing an SR flip. You do not have to be a rocket science to make money trading. You just have to stick to the script. And yes, at one point, I think I was down $230 when price got to about here. But I went to bed, down $230, and said, hey, if I get stopped out, I get stopped out. I could have rushed in and closed the trade. What would have happened? I would not have won the trade, right? So, again, when I opened my eyes, looked at my trade, I was in the nice gain. So, and I do this every single day, 7 days a week. If there's nothing there, there's nothing there. But if I see something, I'm going to say something. So shout out to everybody here on the live. I hope you made gains. Did anyone make gains shorting the market last night? A, did I give you an idea? B, did you have the education you learned from me? Or C, did you just, your own system told you to short, so you decided to take a short? I just wanted to know. Put a 1 in the comment section if you did make gains, though, on that short. Either way, however it happened. God bless you all. I love y'all. I love what I do for a living. I love being here with each and every one of you. I wouldn't change it for anything. And I know we're all struggling. We're all changing. Everyone is going through a metamorphosis of sorts, you know, changing their lives. And I just have to look. So I'm looking to the right there. I just want to grab the chat. I didn't grab the chat yet. Shout out to the 52,900 subscribers. Can we get to 53,000 today? It would be amazing. We got 90 beautiful people to subscribe to the channel in a day. I think we could do that. I know we can do it. Great news. The channel is getting more views from YouTube recommendations, which has been amazing. Super, super appreciative of that as well. So God bless you all. Let me take a look at my content and bring out that chat. I still can't read the chat. I don't know what y'all are saying. I can't see the chat yet. That means I probably didn't post the link to the trading group too yet. Yeah, exactly. So let me pop out the chat. And we're going to deep dive Bitcoin like we do every single day, as deep as we can go. Sounds a little weird, but, you know, we're going to go deep. So be careful. All right. All right. Shout out to Shano. Thank you for pinning those messages too, Sean. You're on point. The second I look up, you're doing the right thing. God bless you. If you want to join my trading group, hit the link right here to cryptolifer.com. You would have been able to see, you would have learned. Number one, most people don't even know how to short the market. For 8 years, I did not know how to short a market. I knew how to trade 3L and 3S tokens, but I didn't really understand how to use leverage or short a market. Didn't understand that, right? That's something you definitely want to learn. It's a tool that you definitely should have in your tool shed if you're going to be a trader and trade for a living. If you really want to trade for a living, you should know. To me, trade is like war. If you want to go into war, you should know how to use as many weapons as humanly possible. Hand-to-hand combat, knife fighting, right? Handgun fight. You know, you should know it all. How to shoot a shotgun, how to shoot a semi-automatic. You should know all these different things if you're going to go into war, right? I'm just saying. And so if you're going to go into trading, which I think is financial war in a way, it's a battle for your money. You're going in with your funds, which is like your health, and you're going in and you're attempting to take out as many of the enemy or just get as much money of other people's money back into your pocket as possible. People are trying to take your money as well. So there's people on both sides trying to take your money. You're trying to take their money. It's a battle, all right? It is a battle. The more you know than the average person, the better you're going to be. That's why I do this every single day and really, really stick to the script, all right? So Bitcoin, what do I see happening? We'll break it down from the very beginning and kind of follow through. Right now, I'm on the BTC Mexi Perp. We'll use that for our little in and outs, and I'll zoom out. And I'll use the all-time history index. UMA on my radar for a possible retest right now. See how it broke out? To me, there's a chance it's doing what's called a retest of the top of this trend line. I talked about retest yesterday. Whenever the market's kind of in the middle or doing something on the weekends, I really push for you to learn. Understand what a retest is. Understand, look, that's kind of an upward cup and handle. Oversold stochastics. Could we get the bounce? Tight moving averages. This has been the hottest coin right now in the game. So I put it out yesterday. When I put it out down here. It did make a beautiful gain of about, what, I think 17% from when I put it out. And let me see exactly where I put it out. But look, Coachy, could you recreate this chart and show? See, what I would love, this is what I'm hoping for. If you guys could meet me in my vision. This is my vision. And you could tell me if I'm out of my mind, right? But my vision, and that's weird. Where's my UMA? Maybe I just put UMA. Because now I don't see the chart. Yeah, there it is. Oh, yeah, because it was on my phone. Because I'm lying up in bed. So I had looked at UMA. And we can see on the 4-hour, it was 3 candles away in the middle. So I can go to the 4-hour, right? Kind of like 1, 2, 3-hour candles. It was like right there. So I put it out as about 570. Right? So what I'm saying is, Lukochi, can you take this post, UMA, redraw the chart from that section, find out that it did go up 23% and post the game without me saying anything? Kind of hard, right? But this is my dream. My dream is for me never to know, like, it just gains just every single thing that I could have found gets found. I don't know if it's ever, I know it's super hard because a lot of it's in my mind. So I never know if I'm ever going to get that type of, but that would be great. And maybe you did do it. Let me double check. You never know. Sometimes you guys do things and I'm just amazed. A lot of times I'm amazed, right? But like the last 3 Bitcoin trades, last night, the one before, I gave the after in the trading group, but nobody posted them to gain. So there's a miscommunication, and somehow, we'll have a meeting about it today. But that's what I like. My dream is for me not to ever have to like today, my Twitter post last night, right? It spelled out exactly how we made gains. This one right here. There's a before, there's your after, right? That should be before and after. That should have been posted, but it wasn't for whatever reason, right? I found the gain, but no one else in the company did. So I'm looking for this to get done without me, and the tweet could have gotten sent too. Like this morning I made this tweet, but that's a great tweet for the team, right? I don't know. I'm so sorry. I don't mean to be rude. And we can talk about it off camera, right? But these are just ideas, right? This is a great way to promote. I mean, we went in, we went out, we showed you exactly what happened. The market's not too great, but we're making gains, and we're showing you how we're doing it. And we're showing you how we're able to switch short or long depending on which way the market's going. We're not stuck to our bias. If you're stuck in a bias, then you can't flip. And if you can't flip, you can't make gains when the market switches on you. So you gotta be able to flip. Anyway, let's go to BTC, USD. And I know we're all working super hard. I'm not saying nobody is. There's details we could push forward. I want more details if we can. Let's take a look at BTC, USD on the all-time history index and take a look. Last time I looked at it, we saw this bear flag raking to the downside. The target was 39.6. And then look, my next target sitting here, 38.5. You can see my lines that I have drawn. I've had these drawn ever since, right? 38,500. Very likely we were going to go there, and we went there. I mean, Bookmap had the liquidity. I've been saying 38.5 for days now. It looked like it was pretty obvious to me. Anyway, I have no idea where price is going to go, but price kind of tells you something. Look, and this is a shoulder, head, shoulder. I mean, you still got, to me, what looks like a complex head and shoulder. Kind of shoulder, head, shoulder. That still, to me, wants to make a, pretty nice breakdown. That takes you to 33,190. Bit of a Bart Simpson, too. So you knew you were coming back down to visit 38.5 because that was you knew you were coming down here. Now it's how low do we go, right? And we're going to break all that down for you right now. Nice and neat, too. Watch. We're going to double click, take off all the indicators. You don't even have to look at the VRVP if you don't want. We're going to go to the weekly chart. And we're going to take a look at bitty Bitcoin in all its entirety here. Even take away this. We don't even need this. And nice and clean and easy here, we're going to show you Bitcoin without even using an indicator, how much valuable information that we could obtain. First, we have O, H, L, and C. Whenever I'm on a candle, we have the open, high, low, and close. We have a number, we have a percentage. Super important that you're understanding this information and taking it down at certain points. What was our daily close? What was our weekly high? Stuff like that is very important to understand, all right? I kept saying to everyone, I'm bullish as long as we don't break this weekly support. We did very easily, and it looks like unless we wick up, which we could wick, like we wick down, which we could very well wick up, but in 5 days to 9 hours. And how do I know that? Right click, countdown to bar close. You want to click this. You want to click this on this hidden, and there's so many hidden menus that you wouldn't even know about in TradingView. You click on this and right click, there's a hidden menu. Countdown to bar close. What does that mean? It's going to tell me when this bar will close, as opposed to, the weekly candle closes at Greenwich, England. Still dealing with the hamstring, but it's way better. I am like, if I was at like a 3, I'm at like a 6 or a 7. I am like so much better today. I really rested yesterday. I took it easy. And then I learned too, I learned that ice isn't, everyone tells you go home and ice it. If you really research the guy that made rice, rest, ice, compression, and elevation, right? That's what rice stands for. He actually said in 2013 that he was wrong about using ice, and he thinks that ice actually constricts healing. Kind of crazy, right? I mean, I'm not saying an ice bath isn't good or to ice things, and it's kind of weird, right? You would always ice something, but it's weird. He said movement is even better than ice, which is insane, right? But to get some movement back. Anyway, you guys can tell me in the comment section if you think I'm out of my mind, or if have you heard that too? Because we've been told to ice things since the back of the day, Machine learning shows 65K in late February. Can you trust the machine? I don't think so. No ice constricts muscle spasms, bro. Facts, heat is better in my opinion. I don't care what anyone says. I've had more injuries than you can imagine, and I know what works. and what doesn't. I like ice personally. I think ice is great. Ice is only to keep the swelling down. Constricts muscle recovery. That's what somebody said, yeah. It contracts the muscle when you use ice, so when you move it, it worsens. Interesting. Heat cures muscles. Ice is to stop initial swelling. After 48 hours, it's heat to increase blood flow. Then gently escalating stretching over the next few weeks. Ice helps with pain. Heat helps with healing. Yeah, rest, ice, compression, elevation, yeah. I like rice. I honestly personally like using ice. I'm a devil's advocate for everything I know. That's how I got, in my opinion, that's how I found wealth. Like, I always challenged what I thought I knew to make sure I wasn't a smart aleck. You know what I mean? Just super important, you know? Anyway. I personally use ice, you know. I just heard this recently and never even thought about it. You know, I just did what I was told. So I never even questioned it, right? I just said, yeah, I use ice. That's what my nurse told me. But I'm a guy that eventually questions everything. And I might come back to what I was originally told, but I'm going to at least question everything that I was told initially. Because just why would I do anything blindly? That doesn't make sense to me. Logically, I have to always kind of question things, even at least slightly. You know what I mean? Yes, you need thesis, antithesis to get synthesis. So important to question. Hey, man, I like that. Yes, you need thesis, antithesis to get synthesis. I love what you said. Antithesis to get synthesis. Yeah, hot water is my thing. It's the URL fiat. Yeah, ice and heat both work. You need to apply them according to the injury. Yeah, one from short to long. Yeah, Boston Bruins coach taught me to use ice water for injuries than hot water. The flush of the blood theoretically flushes out the Boston Bruins coach. Really? That's interesting. Yeah. Yeah, flush the blood. We need more Sam of this world. Shout out Antonio Bosa. Shout out to the 1,000. So look, we're seeing this pullback, and we talked about it, right? Because my strategy says whenever a huge pump comes and you elevate away from a 21-day moving average, you must come back and hang out with the 21. The 21's like a friend, and it's like, you can't leave me all alone like this. You got to bring me back. You got to get me in. And it doesn't like to be alone for too long. Right here, it came back. Right here, it came back. Right here, it came back. All right. We also have the beautiful CME, right, which we're going to focus on for you in a second here on this beautiful Tuesday morning. Shout out to everybody here at 10:29 on a Tuesday. And we already made gains. I already woke up and sold. I'm done for trading for the day. Like, I woke up and sold my gain from last night. Like, I'm not going to push it. I already made a beautiful trade. I made more than I used to make in a day at my old job at home in my pajamas. I woke up in bed. I sold from my phone. You know? I didn't even open up the big rig and get my big screens going. I sold from my phone in bed this morning. I mean, come on. And I know I made more money than most people that go to work today already after taxes. I mean, it's insanity. So I have nothing to worry about. I got my long-term bags packed. I got more Bitcoin than the average person in the world, right? What do we got to worry about, baby? We're on our way. We're getting Bitcoin cheaper than we were going to get it. If it kept going to 50, 60K, $5,000 was only going to get me 0.1. Now $5,000 is going to bring me back down to getting a 20th of a Bitcoin, right? I'm going to be able to get a 6th or a 5th, maybe. That's a big deal for me. That's way more Bitcoin for my kids in the long term. And we only have so much funds. I'm not a billionaire, right? None of us are multi-millionaires. We may have a few mil. Couple $100,000. Some of you might have $10,000. Some of you might have $100 in your pocket, right? I remember when I had I had no money. I was broke not too long ago. Like, I'm being honest. I can smell when it was that I was broke. Like, it wasn't like, just went through a pulled hammy myself. Let it heal first before you stretch it heavily. Stretching it may tear it again. Slowly start stretching it, if at all, for a while. Thank you. How many Bitcoin you got, Sammy? None's your business, brother. How many Bitcoins do people think I have? Everyone will think I have more. How many Bitcoins do you think I do have? In the comments, how many Bitcoins do I have? You did this before, kids. You were smart. Amen. One day it'll take 10K to buy 0.1 Bitcoin. We are blessed to get these prices. Amen. 700, 0.02, 30, 10, 12, 20, 150, 35, 69, 20, 23, 21, 50, 777. I'm never going to tell you guys, so don't worry. I'm never going to tell anyone how much Bitcoin I have. I just think I don't own any, I'd rather people think I don't own any, So I'm never revealing how much Bitcoin I do own, I own Bitcoin, I'll tell you that, right? Like the other day, I saw a picture of a guy, and he posted a car, and the car said, "I hodl BTC," and I was like, someone could just follow you, and then I just wouldn't want that on my license plate, I wouldn't want to let the average person know in the street that I hodl Bitcoin, Yeah. I mean, it's obvious that I own Bitcoin. Like, let's be honest here. So maybe I own 0.2 Bitcoin. You know what I mean? I'm just saying, I never revealed, it's obvious that I own at least 0.2 Bitcoin. Let's be honest here. Zero as far as, we own 0 Bitcoin. No, but babe, I get it, but it's obvious that at least we own Bitcoin, At least I own a 0.25 Bitcoin. As long as you're a 1 Bitcoiner, someone says you're a step ahead of the masses. 0.2 is not bad, mate. You just bought more than that yesterday. Somebody said, I watched you buy a whole Bitcoin at 19K, so at least 1, he said. Why is it obvious? You could very well be in all altcoins. It's true. I know how much. Greater than 0, smaller than 21 million. Isn't that funny? And he's right. That's a fact. You should sell Kaz banners for merchandise. I probably should. That's a good idea. I already know you F around with 5. You're funny. I seen you buy more Bitcoin on the live than I bought crypto myself, said Michael Burgott. There's more than 20 million millionaires in the USA. Now calculate. 0.2 is winning. UMA back to 5.7. So we got to the CME gap. That's the whole point. We closed the CME gap, right? We knew that was coming. And, there's a bigger area here. And then, we did the fair value gaps yesterday too. I believe on the Coinbase chart, which we'll come revisit. But just, we did revisit the fair value, we did hit that CME gap there for sure. All right. Shout out to the 1,100 people on the live. Thank you for jumping on in. Appreciate each and every one of you for being here. Let's get the likes up to the watches, baby. We used to have 800 people, 800 likes. Now we got more people on the stream. We got less likers, baby. Are you lurking? Are you working? Are you jerking? What you doing over here? But hey, come on now. Jump onto the live stream. Hit the like button. Let's get it in. Sam, how do you deal with frustration from not trusting yourself and getting out of a long too early? Saw a pump coming for multi. Opened up a long, but chickened out at 140% gain. Could have made 1,000%. I mean, what I do is, honestly, I would turn that entire situation around. We're going to talk about that in Kellerman. After we do some analysis, we're going to jump back into that about 11 o'clock. I'm going to answer that. Remind me, everyone, that I want to answer this question at 11. I have a great way to answer it, and I know exactly how I want to tackle how I want to answer it. And it may not be exactly the answer you were asking for, but we're going to get you there. Stay tuned at 11 o'clock when we answer that guy's question. Super excited for that. Was an amazing question. It's going to help a lot of people when we break it down. I'm going to actually copy it and paste it into a conversation here I have on the side just so I can use it. Okay. Thank you. We are at Bookmap today at 1 p.m. Again, 1 to 2. I will be on Bookmap. Jump on in today if you want to watch Bookmap. See if the last time we were on Bookmap, we did open up a profitable trade. Ended up making pretty good gains. So, hey, 2 times before we didn't, but 3 times before that we did. You never know. So when I'm on Bookmap, I do live trade. Usually that's what we're doing. We're looking for a live trade. And Tuesdays at 1 usually can be a good liquidity draw. So, hey, I'm a Caspa Dolphin. Yeah. What time is it now for you, Sam? It is 10:36 a.m. Yeah. Does Bookmap have a chart indicator? People can try to follow me. Yeah. That's nice. Don't really care for the other guys on Bookie. George said he didn't know what Bookmap was on his show this morning. If you don't wash your hands, smash it with your elbow. Okay. Good morning. Who's buying the dips for the rips? Casper price looks juicy to get into. Wondering if we go lower. It looks like we're going to go possibly to 5 cents. We'll break that down if you send it in a super chat for TAs and deep dives. I'll go over whatever you're asking about. And shout out to everyone that is going to give a super chat today. I'm sure you will. So God bless the kindness. So here, back to the weekly for Bitcoin. We clearly have a resistance where we wick to and where these candles closed at 47,000. All right, 99, 47,200 right here. So that was a key resistance. We wicked into it. We came back down. We had bearish divergence. I kept going over the bearish div on the 3-day and the 4-day chart. Remember, I went over it and over it even before the massive pump to the upside, right? Uma, what's your next entry? And what about Ponky? Ponky and Uma are both hot right now. We're going to get into them as well. I appreciate that. I am posting Uma in the trading group. Hey, when I see something hot and the whole market dumps, I start trading that coin. It's very simple to me. I've done that many times and it's played out. When I first did it, I thought I was just being real stupid because I was like, is it this simple, Sam? Can I just play the only coin that didn't dump when the whole market dumped? And then one day I was like, nah, it can't be that easy. You know what I mean? Don't tread lightly. And then I did it a couple more times. And then I was like, well, it is what it is, man. It's the Forrest Gump move. Like, don't overthink it. You know? I need some lemon water. Let's decalcify that pineal gland. Let's get back onto focus too, so I can back into Bitcoin and stay focused here. Okay. Was that I make that sound? Funny. I didn't know if I made that sound or that was the sound. So interesting. Anyway, back into BTC. So Bitcoin coming back down to the 21-day moving average is very likely. I teach you guys this. We talk about it. The problem is once you know it, it hurts to see it happen. If you're too long or if you're oversaturated, it just hurts to see it happen. And once you know you're this far away from the 21, you're going to come back to it. Now, if you lose the 21, which it looks like we may in this situation, you're going to come and test the 50 or the 200, which it looks like we may be getting a bounce somewhere in the area of 30,001, 31,008. There's a wick right there at 31,800. I love the 800s. 31.8 is a known area of supportive resistance. We also have a little wick there at 32.5. So you're looking at I'm looking at 32.5 and 31.8 as key areas of a possible bounce. Because if we hit the 200 SMA, right, on the weekly. Now, if we lose the 200 SMA on the weekly, we're going to in for some, we're likely making some type of double bottom here. And we may have to come down and test the low again. Very unlikely based off this idea here, but anything is possible. All right. Anything is possible. And there's Bitcoin pumping to 39,140, getting a massive pump off the bullish divergence. And that sound was me getting stopped out on my trade. I could hear it. Bloom. So I knew what happened. Perfect timing. Bitcoin crawling out of the car crash. Bitcoin pumping. Analos, the next Jew, hopefully. I don't know about that, man. Analos was trash. We got into it. We tripled up in like a couple days, and then, that's about it. So look, you have a little bit of chunk here in support. You have a little bit of chunk here. We got to put on the VRVP. You're at a high volume node. If you lose this high volume node, look, you're dropping down to 30,008, 31,000. I mean, you got a gap here in the VRVP. Look at it. You got this big high volume node sticking out. So you would have to make a stand here at about 37.5. If you brought, you could bounce. We could make a giant double bottom here. We could bounce on up. We could end up making a some type of try. Anything could happen. We could bounce off the 21 and keep it moving. We do have a golden cross, somewhat bullish. But as I've told my students before, golden crosses doesn't mean you're shooting to the upside. Everyone's like, oh, it happened. Oh, my God. It means that months from now, you shall be higher than you are when the cross occurred. But it may be a rocky road up. There's no, they don't say golden crosses don't say you're not getting a dump. They just say, hey, things are going to things are going to be better off later on down the road. That's what a golden cross, portrays. In my lifetime, that's what I've taken it as. So there's a gap here in the VRVP. You're likely dropping down to 30,875. These are key areas you must pay attention to. Okay? Key areas you must pay attention to. Shout out to the 1,152 people, 379 likes. Let's get the likes up to the watches. Let's go, baby. Let's go. This ain't your average YouTube channel. I'm going every single day. We don't take days off. Our energy is at its apogee. We keep it pushing. Let's go, baby. If I came to your house, I would take off my shoes. I would bring full respect. I would hit that like button. I deserve the respect. Let's go. Let's go. So remember, when you leave the 21, you're likely to touch it. Whether we bounce up here, so here's two scenarios for me. We bounce up. We consolidate somewhat inside of like, and this comes into play, and we hang out with the 21 before we get a nice pump back to the upside. Possibility for me, I would love to see that. If we consolidated on the weekly and we got this dip for the altcoins, I mean, it would be too good to be true, really. It would be like, this would be a perfect picture of how to get absolutely loaded into the next bull run, into the halving. Like, oh, here's a bunch of dippage 2 months before the halving for you in case you missed October and November. Here you go. Pretty crazy, right? So, is Binance good to trade? I think Binance is great if you can get on it. Yeah, for sure. Okay. So back to the 21-day moving averages. What I'm seeing here for Bitcoin. All right. That's what I see happening for BTC. Would love if we could get a bounce off 37.5. But if we lose 35,750, that'll be it for me. Then I'm going to start looking down at that 31.8, 32.5, and 30,900 area, right? That's going to be my next target that I'm going to be paying attention to for Bitcoin. I drew a Fibonacci here from Impulse. And I got a 618 at 333 and 34,005 too. And there's some chop here that could hold us down. So I got a golden pocket. I got the 786 though, which basically, if I even took this right here, that impulse there, which is fair to me. 786 lines up at about 31,000, 750, maybe even, let's see, 31,591, 31,006. That's your 786, sorry, 786 Fibonacci level, right? I might have misspoke on the number there. Your 786 Fibonacci retracement. Key area. Usually you don't go lower than that. That's when the emotional damage has been done. Like, they figured your mind can only take 78.6% dumpage, and that's where they can get most people to start to sell here, and by the time they get here, they can get almost everybody to sell. And so then they can start to buy before you're paying attention and push you out of the market. All right. 38.5 was the bottom. We're going up. 32K right now will be epic. Yeah. Someone said 32.85 is the bottom. We're going up. Sam, it's getting pumped up. Let's go. Yeah, 39,250. Huge pump to the upside there for Bitcoin. Beautiful divergence that we got the play on, right? Beautiful divergence. Look at that. And I did get stopped out. I was playing that little low below. Once we got above the 200 SMA, my stop was right there, so I knew we would get stopped out. No big deal. Look at this, though. Beautiful bull. I'm going to break that down. I want to get into the smaller time frames, and I'm excited. I want to start showing Bitcoin right now. But I just gotta do my bigger analysis for me to zoom in. It's kind of part of my OCD. Top-down analysis must be done. But like, no matter what anyone says, I mean, and we could get the bounce. But before we get a huge move to the upside again, we will have to interact with this white line on the weekly, in my humble opinion. Mark my words. I don't see us pumping until we interact with the 21-day moving average. That is it. That's going to be it. And I'm sticking to that. And that's what I love about my system. And when look, when we were back here on the 5-day, I said, wow, we're a little far away from the 21. We're going to have to come to it. And look what he did. We did come and we touched the 21-day moving average. So this is, you're praying that we can bounce from here, turn this into a hidden bullish. So you almost need a little more dumpage on this RSI. You want this to become hidden bullish divergence. For me, even if you came to the 786, you're going to end up with hidden bullish. Because you'll come up here, you have an uptrend in the price action, you'll have a downtrend in the RSI, and that just looks like a beautiful, like, if we get hidden bullish, the 786, and we're at 31,006 to 31,008, I mean, that would be gorgeous. We did this here on the 3-day. Remember, on the 3-day chart, we did a very similar move here. Where as a team, I was able to show everybody on my trading group that I saw this as hidden bullish divergence. Right? And then I even, I'll always remember this one here, which will resemble what I'm showing you now on the 8-hour. I'll always remember this one, right? So swing up to swing up, swing down to swing down, and then when I pulled the fib there, right to this wick, like we dead centered hit the 786 fib. I called that bottom to this day, 26.5. We never looked back. I entered a trade there, called that 786 entry. I mean, Unbelievable. Anyway, who cares now, right? It's over now. But wow, I go back in time and technical analysis revealed itself to me and was able to get me to places and able to get me into Bitcoin in some amazing trades. And so shout out to TA, man. I apologize for the meme. Can you take a look at Trump 2024? I got into the Trump, but I still up 166. Maybe in a little while. I have the right to decline, though. As I represent my own political party, the blockchain party. And I'll be running for president in 2032. And we will show you that they'll never get to 2% inflation. I'll teach you that the current administration was never going to be able to pull off what they told you. And I'll tell you that it's all based off, them not paying attention to reality, right? Anyway, so these are my projections. We're going to take them away now because they're big-time projections on the big time frames, but we're going to move these away. $21 crossing the 200 on the 8-hour. More downside. Understand how big moving averages work. We talked about the 12-hour. So you can't lose the 200 SMA on the 12-hour time frame. So far, you aren't. But, we're pretty close to closing a candle below that today, right now, as we speak. You see? We are very oversold, though. You would expect some type of bounce here on the 12-hour time frame. You could wait for Bitcoin to break above this. If Bitcoin does this would be key. If I see Bitcoin, it could be making some type of shoulder, a head or right shoulder, and break out. If I see Bitcoin get above the 21-day moving average and this trend line, and 41,100, that tells me that, and then I see a flag or some type of retest, I would trade that. So that would be the safest long to take if we break through. I would write this down, pay attention to this, and look at this. Get this up, get the bounce, and boom. All right. If you start to close this candle below the 200 SMA, you got to start thinking about the daily 200 SMA. It just looks likely, and then we're talking about that 786, and we're talking about 31.8 and 32,000. Now, we will have to break through this chop in some high-volume nodes here, and we have a gap here, and we may stop at 34. There's a chance we don't go lower. And we may even get hit in bullish divergence at that point, right? But, the daily is starting to sport a little bit of hidden bullish right now, as this overall trend is to the downside. But if I match it with the low here, we're still on an uptrend. So that's technically hidden bullish, Is that going to hold? It's very different. I've never really seen it like this. I'll be honest. It's pretty mangled hidden bullish, but it is hidden bullish nonetheless. What I teach you is when the moving averages are far apart, they're going to have to come back together for us to get busy. So Bitcoin would have to get a bit of a bounce here. It would have to start to consolidate. And as it does that, all right, it would have to start to bring the moving averages back together. We're not getting a huge pump until the 21, until all these moving averages can start to get tight again, maybe pull up to 200. The 200 doesn't always have to be in the mix. Like here, when they got tight, we had the move. When they got tight, we had the move. When the 21 and the 200 got far apart, we dumped. Whenever the 21 and the 200 start to make this gap, price action will come back down to 618 retracements. This is something that I've been teaching all my students. If you take my beginners course, you'll understand. Here it is again. Price action got tight. It boomed out. When it boomed out, the 21 got away from the 200. When the 200 got away from the 21, you could pull your Fibonacci and you could have seen that you came down to the golden pocket. We could kind of restructure the same thing yet again. This one only went to the 0.5 fib, but you got tighter moving averages. When the 21 got away from, you slumped back down. And it just is, it's a reoccurring theme in every asset throughout the world. You can go look at Tesla and be like, no. I'm like, yeah, like I do this and I can teach you how to trade any market in the world doing this. Tesla looks like it's in an inverted complex head and shoulder. Shoulder, shoulder, head, shoulder, shoulder. That would likely want to break up. It's getting oversold on the weekly, yet with a higher low. Slap on your moving averages for Tesla. When they got tight, it was time to get in. When they get far apart, it's time to get out. They're getting tight again on the weekly. Tesla right now is telling me that it's likely going to make a pretty big move to the upside. I don't even own any Tesla, but Tesla says it's about to double up. That's what the markets say. This is what the weekly chart. Weekly chart. Now it could dump and make a double bottom. There's no guarantees here. Go back to the 4-hour time frame and look at my strategy. Whenever the moving averages were super tight here on Tesla, it was time to get inside the tight pennant. When the 21 and the 200 got far apart, it was time to draw your fib and look for those retracements. We came right down to the 618 golden pocket right there. When the moving averages got tight, it was time to make your last add-ons and rip it back up until the moving averages got far apart again, the 21 and the 200 SMA. I've been teaching this for years now, over and over again. Some people listen, some people don't. You can only, do so much. Anyway, we're not done with my top-down analysis, and we did miss a pretty cool Bitcoin rip up to 39,300. I'm skeptical of Bitcoin. We got PCE data coming out on Friday. All right. Then we're going to have a Fed meeting on the CME Watch tool, which I've had up for you, and I keep bringing it up. I don't want you to forget. January 31st is the meeting. Okay. That's coming up in 8 days. That's going to be next Wednesday. Definitely going to affect the market. All right. 97% chance that they keep the rates exactly the same and they don't change them. Something you want to be privy to and pay attention. All right. Shout out to the 1,271 people here on the live. Let's get the likes up to the watchers. If you like what I'm doing, if you're picking up what I'm putting down. All right. I may live trade some days. I give you a live trade. Some days I just give you. Some days I'm so obsessed with the teaching that I'm doing at the moment, and I just want to get you guys a concept that I'm not going to be showing you my live trade, or I may not be getting in or out of a trade, or I may, once I get the concepts and the teaching out, then I can kind of move on. It depends on the day, though. Some days we open up live trade, right? It all depends on the day. I woke up to a gain this morning. Wish I could have been live trading with you, but it was 7 in the morning. All right. This is an epic ski down the mountain Bitcoin. Yep. I hope AVAX dumps to approximately $20. I want to buy back. Yeah. Pickle Rick, you missed it and I didn't. That's the point, Pickle Rick. A lot of my life is dedicated to others. I don't always get exactly what I'm looking for, but I know if I give myself to others somehow, some way, God presents whatever I need. So I've learned that that was my destiny, was to be a leader of a trading group, to help people, to show up every single day. And I realized that fulfilled me the most, more than money, more than anything else. And the fact that I got to get paid to do it, and way more than the average, than what I average made, or, I was like, you know what? Bring it on. Bring it on. So, yeah, but only because of you and the group, baby. Shout out to Pickle Rick. I love you, man. Nah, because of you too, bro. Teachings pay us more. Knowledge is wealth. Amen. I like this chart. Shout out to everybody here on the live. Thank you for jumping on it. Appreciate each and every one of you. May God bless you all for being here and sharing your most precious asset with me. And that is your time. So Bitcoin, can we break out of the falling wedge? 68% chance that we do. This is your bullish scenario that you make, you could break on out. You could consolidate in some type of ascending triangle. Maybe even, you could even make a symmetrical and then dump after it all. But could you get this bounce? Could it happen? Very oversold in the daily time frame. They're saying GBTC is done. They're selling. They basically came through with all their selling, and it's starting to calm down now. Everyone wants to understand what's happening. Well, what happened was Grayscale converted themselves to an ETF. When they did that, they had to move all the Bitcoin out of the trust to the ETF. So they had to sell Bitcoin. So they had to sell billions of dollars worth of Bitcoin. And they've been unloading Bitcoin for the last few days. And the theory is, that's really been the sell pressure. They've been selling tons of BTC. Thank God they did. It gave you and me, the little guy, the ability to buy Bitcoin at a price we probably never would have been able to buy it at. So we both must feel blessed and happy that we're up the way we are. All right. Check out multi-USDT. Yeah. It was Bitcoin from the FTX liquidation. Then there was, and then I wanted to add, I'm not done yet. There was also FTX liquidations. Yeah. I have that in my trading group. Yeah. They're selling on the market and then buying over the counter. Exactly. Yeah. And then FTX did unload. It looks like FTX is done too, but we had it here in the trading group. yesterday at 1 p.m., FTX sold about $1 billion of Grayscale Bitcoin ETF, explaining much of the outflow. Since Bitcoin ETFs were approved in theory, now that FTX is done selling its substantial holdings, the selling pressure could ease, since a bankruptcy of state liquidating holdings is a relatively unique event. All right. And we have seen some market ease here since the sell pressure. All right. And, you know, we're on the perpetual. I just wanted to grab some spot BTC. As long as we're below 40K, I figured I got to dip my toes in and grab some more BTC, right? And so that's what I do. I do see possible more downside, though. And I'm not going to be shy about setting some orders down at 31,800 for Bitcoin. Right now, I'll market buy about $3,500 worth of Bitcoin. And there you have it. That'll bring me down to like an easy 30K in the till. And then I still have 30,000, you know, on the sidelines here to buy more Bitcoin. See, that's the thing. What if I could get a whole Bitcoin or close to it? I mean, that would be amazing. And look, now 0.6, I've continued to add every single time and until I can grab another one. Once it hits one, send it off. Can anyone say that it will pump or dump? Anyone, please. It's algorithmic, set in stone, all by design type of stuff. Exactly. Even when it rains, the coins are red. Even when you let the sun shine and it feels green again, you're funny. The narrative is about as valid as the Bitcoin ETF. Send it to 100K. You're funny. And honestly, I don't listen to the news or the sell pressure. I pay attention to the charts. The daily is getting very oversold. The 2 days oversold, right? However, look at the RSI. RSI, to me, still has some more downside, right? And you have to, don't forget about your little friend, the RSI. Very high on the 4 day, 5 day, 7 day. You know, even, you know, you look at the 8 day, 10 days just getting started. The weekly, the 2 week chart says, hey, we got to come all the way back down to the 786 at 31,008. That's going to be the 786 retracement. That's going to be the 21 day moving average. Just like you got too far away from the 21. It doesn't matter what time frame. You eventually look, you had a beautiful pump. You came back to the 21. Beautiful pump. Once you lose the 21, that's the beginning of bearishness on the 2 week chart. All right. You look at your crypto fear and greed index. You want that to be at a very, very lower point into the shaded region when you really want to load up. When I buy 10K, 12K, 20K whole Bitcoins, you know, I'll buy 3K, 2K, 500, you know. But when I buy whole Bitcoins, I want to be buying the whole Bitcoins in this shaded area at 20. Remember, we got 9, 15. When this got it, I've been using this. I use the 2 week chart and the 2 week stochastics RSI. Whenever the stochastics RSI was below the dotted line, I bought Bitcoin. And I started doing it around here. So, and this is Bitcoin's life cycle. You had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, maybe 7 times to buy Bitcoin below the dotted line on the stochastics RSI. And then if I coupled those, and then I'm giving you my secret, and I coupled those with this being on the low, and that was it. That's how I was able to buy Bitcoin on the low. It's not that hard. Everyone else freaks out, and you only have like 5 or 6 weeks in that period when Bitcoin's that low. All right. And I taught students this when I was teaching them. If you come to take my class, there's a flyer for my class on the screen at all times there. It's a little small, but there it is. Life Revision Trading Course, $150. You'll remember the class for the rest of your life, I firmly believe. You'll use concepts that I teach you throughout your trading career. You might even pick up a concept you can use immediately at the beginning of the class, and you'll be flying with the knowledge that I give you. Unbelievable. So jump on into class today, $150. Hit the QR code. It'll blow your mind. You'll absolutely love it. I'm telling you right now. Jump on it today and change your life. Get the education you deserve. Stop playing games. Is it more beneficial to buy alts unless you're already a millionaire? I don't know. You got to make that decision yourself. Even when there was better to buy alts, I still bought Bitcoin from the day. I'm an old school guy. I buy what I believe is going to hold me down from years to come. All coins can go to zero. All coins can consent to the wrong wallet. You know what I mean? Most times they work, though. I'm not trying to, I'm just saying Bitcoin to me is the safest long-term investment I could make. Every time I put $3,500, $3 grand, $2 grand, whatever I put into Bitcoin every day, it serves me well. It serves me well. Always keep at least 50% in Bitcoin, says PK. People do whatever they do. It should always be your biggest allocation no matter what. That's what PK said. It's not what I'm saying. I'm not a financial advisor. Nothing I say and do should be taken as financial advice. Never do what some random person tells you on YouTube, please. You know what I mean? You can watch my life. This is my real life, right? All right. It was a question at 11. You wanted us to remind you. Thank you for saying that. Super awesome that you said that. That person's on point. All right. We're not there yet. When I'm done with Bitcoin, we'll get there. So Bitcoin, we still see a bit of a bullish div here now on the 1 hour time frame. The RSI is swinging up while price action swinging viciously down. Tells us that we should attempt to get a bit of a bounce out of the falling wedge. Falling wedges break up 68% of the time. I'm getting rid of this projection. So this is what we have here. We have ourselves in a bit of a falling wedge with major resistance for Bitcoin. We've kind of whipped to and not been able to get back above and bounced at 40,450, 40,005. Do we go lower is the question. Do we go higher? What is happening? What is going to happen into today? Well, we zoom in a little further and we can see another stronger bullish div on the 1 hour here as that swings down and this swings up. So we have pretty strong bullish div. Two attempts here. And we have half of an inverted head and shoulder being formed. So I'm expecting something like this to occur. Bitcoin to make some type of symmetrical triangle here. Hopefully make a right shoulder. And then today we're going to be kind of at this precipice, right? Whether we're either going to break down to the bottom of the pattern or break on out and make some gains. So I am seeing the 1 hour getting a bounce. Looks like it wants to come up at least to resistance at 40,550. Whether we break above that is the question. A breakout and a retest of 40,550 would be an amazing place to enter a trade. It would also resemble a bit of a cup with a handle there. You see this? This would be your cup. That would be your handle. You maybe even be able to pull a Fibonacci. I know I'm getting a little crazy here, but maybe even from there, you pull a little fib. You might get a retracement 786 for a bounce here. That will be the money printer model cup and handle just on a bigger scale on the 1 hour time frame. So starting to show signs of a reversal for Bitcoin, lack of bearish momentum in the MACD, and some good bullish divergence here showing up on the 1 hour time frame. We did get the reversal when I did close my short so far, and then I reopened another one a little too daringly. But, now I was playing the idea that we are SR flipping this key area, though. We have bounced off of 39,480. We have lost it, came back up. And now you can see like 39,450, 500 really is a resistance. So none of this is happening if we can't break above 39,498, 39,500, right? You can see the wick there. And that would be just an SR flip further to the downside. So I'm not saying, oh, we're definitely doing these things that I'm showing you. I'm projecting these. If they see, the thing is, if this comes up and then makes a right shoulder, if I didn't do this, then I look at it and I think, are we making a right shoulder? And it would take me 5 to 10 minutes and then it might pump and I'll miss it. It's happened to me. But now if we come up and we make the right shoulder, I've already thought it out in my brain. So I'll make the right shoulder immediately, set my parameters, stop loss. I'll be able to get in the trade within 10 to 15 seconds. So because I preemptively, projected my chart and looked at what was going to happen in the first place, I'm able to be set up for my trade in the future. Okay? That's the whole point of what I'm doing. I'm not saying I know what's going to happen and this is exactly what's going to happen. I'm saying I'm playing chess. And I say this every time I'm trading. When you're trading, you're playing chess. What is the market, what does it look like? What are the possibilities? What could price do right now? Price could pump up out of nowhere. Just out of nowhere. Is that likely? It's a little unlikely. It could happen though. There's like a 1% chance that in the next 2 seconds, price will just out of nowhere start pumping, rip through all the things and end up being at 44,000. That's a possibility. It's unlikely. It's very unlikely, but it's a possibility. There's a possibility right now that price just goes flying to the downside and dumps out of nowhere. Really, in the next 5 seconds as I'm talking, it just absolutely collapses. And next thing you know, we're at 30, not 5. These are both possibilities. They're both unlikely though. Okay. But I have to understand that they are possible. So I start right there. So then what? Well, then I go, well, what do I usually see in price action? Because now I'm looking for what I've built my data on, right? Well, I bounced and we've got resistance. That's an SR flip. Resistance becomes support. Boom. I trade that a lot. That's trading support. That would be shorting resistance right now if I opened up a short with a stop loss on the other side. Okay. Is that a probability? It's there. Yes. There's a probability that we could start making a move So then I start looking for other things to build on that probability. 4 hour looks like it could be rolling over. Even though it's low in the stochastic, see how that's curving? That could definitely just roll right over and go further to the downside. However, pattern trading 101, top of the pattern, bottom, half top of the pattern. I guess you can say you made it to the top there. Not your best pattern. You can almost say you faked out a breakout and came back inside in a way. I guess we could make that the trend line. It makes it. I just want to make this one more incorporated into my trend. But so we touch, come back down, touch, come back down. Likely you're going to come back up even if you are bearish for the fallout. Even if you are bearish for the fallout, right? So but I'm more bearish than bullish based off of moving averages, right? Once you lose the 200 SMA on the 4 hour time frame, you could easily open up a trade. And I say this, how many times have people heard me say this? I just want to make sure people are listening to me and they're not just like, he came out and just says this whenever. How many times have you heard me say this to the newcomer on the channel? The second you close a candle below the 200 simple moving average, the SMA, all right, you put a stop on the other side of the SMA, all right? And why? And then look at that. Did anybody make this beautiful trade? So simple. Is anyone in massive gains based off this information? Or, you know, I don't like to go all the way because you never know, but I take scalp after scalp after scalp. Once I'm below the 200 SMA, I know that my shorts are likely going to play out. You get it? That's the trend. When you're above it, your longs are going to play out. It's funner to long. Yeah, remember, I wasn't opening up any shorts during this whole period. Remember, it was just very rare. I was just buying dips, and I was very not into shorting the market. Now you see me shorting every day. I shorted 4 times now in a row. You'll notice me change my trading style. Even in the trading group, notice, wow, he's shorting now all of a sudden. Sometimes I can't even say what's happening. You just see what I'm doing because I'm not going to like boast. Like, oh, no. I'm just going to start doing it. And you're like, okay, this is what he's doing now. All right. That's my bread and butter, Sammy. Thank you. All I used was the 4 hour 200 SMA and then immediately flip short up in gains now. Look at that, dude. Good traders change direction. I love it, man. So there you have it, right? So you got to know, you know, and it took me years to gain the skill and the confidence in my system to be able to flip direction. Like I couldn't just flip short or long. By the time I flipped short or long, the trends usually were over because it took me so long to pick up on what was happening. You know, that's another skill you're going to develop. See, as a trader, you're going to develop your technical analysis, but then you're going to develop another skill, which is knowing when to trade the trends and understanding how to identify trends in the market and when to pull out, when to pull in. That's almost an entirely different skill, okay? That's an entirely different skill, all right? I've only been here 3 months, and I've gone from trading like I'm gambling to trading with a brain. Shout out to Dan. We love you. I love hearing that, and that's what I appreciate. You're funny. Short since 48K. Mama always said, sell the news, baby. It's crazy, man. Max C futures lets you change directions easily. Reason why 90% of traders lose money. I found a 30% recovery of the loss on an instant reverse. 1 minute. What do you think about NTRN, Neutron? Ready to fly if Bitcoin shows some love. It's a hot coin right now, for sure. Yeah. I pull out and push in all day. This European whale. Anyway, so are we dumping or pumping to the downside or to the upside? The smaller time frames are going to tell us that. Right now, I mean, you had a death cross on the 4 hour time frame. Usually spells disaster for Bitcoin. You look for the 6 hour, which just had a death cross, but it is oversold. You know, it's not the 8 hour will have a preemptive death cross, the 12 hour, right? You don't want to see a death. If you get a death cross on the daily, then you know things are getting bad, right? So we hope, we're looking for some type of consolidation. We could go lower. This could be the beginning of a massive pullback. We could be making a giant, what do we make a giant double bottom here? I'm just being devil's advocate for a second, but what if? You know? So I make it better. But what if we make some type of, you got to be open-minded to this idea. You do. And some days we're going to brainstorm these bigger thoughts. And, tomorrow we're probably going to be more in the nitty-gritty. I'm not going to repeat a lot of this stuff. Just once every few days, I have to make the show a little more of a zoom-out show so people really see what's happening on the bigger time frame and they don't get too caught up. So to me, very likely we come to this 200 SMA here. And that will chug up a little bit as we chug down. And they should meet somewhere about 35, 34,000. If we break that, then that's when we look for that 31, 38K, right? In fact, the hype builds from 2% relief rally, and 90% is buying the dip, means lower is more likely. Flashbacks from 29,000 crash from 40K. Lifer is bearish. This is dangerous. Also, yet my Mt. Gox repayments will flood the market with coins. You're funny. Super Chats, question and answer at 11. LAI, blur. Thank you for that. And then they disappeared. Money printer, whale games, we're going up. We need a black swan event to go below 30K. You only look up on Bitcoin. The fear is good. Black swan soon, like a Tinder. No, we're going to spend time on all the altcoins. It's a 2-hour show. We usually spend 11:15 to 12 on altcoins, 11:30 to 12 on altcoins, and whatever anyone's asking about. But you just got to give me a moment here to finish BTC. It's been, interesting enough. So now, getting oversold in the big time frames, but they still could roll over. I just want to put that out there. It doesn't mean we're going to bounce immediately, but we are getting to the extreme of selling. Like the extreme of selling is getting, bullish divergence on the 12 hour, on the 2 hour. I see it here as this swings up and that swings down. So good bullish divergence. However, what I've noticed when you're in a nasty downtrend and things aren't amazing, bullish div will only get you to the next resistance, and then it'll usually flop. You'll get a pump. Like, look, you got to pump off the bullish div. Like, that's all. You should be happy you got from 38.6 up to 39.5 or 39.838. Like, that's a beautiful move. That's in and out, right? So you did, in my mind, as a scalp trader, the divergence played out for you. You got it. Everyone wants more, right? Now, will it become full-blown reversal divergence? To me, again, I'm going to show you what I said, and I'm going to say it again. I'd be looking for some type of right shoulder here for the move to the upside. There's a beautiful gap. If this could very well play out in our favor, and today, Tuesday afternoon, I'm able to put out this trade to the trading group, and bang. So I'm projecting this idea, but I'm not saying it's going to happen. This is how I would long. All right? Anything else is a little sketchy to me. Then we could take this and say we're in this, kind of a broadening falling wedge. All right? I'm with this idea here. And that could still break on out. You've been hitting the trend line and getting rejected. So you're in some type of pattern there. 2 hours bullish. 1 hour has momentum. So to me, it's about the 15. 15 minutes rolling over on you right now. It does not look good, right? 15 minutes says, I would like to roll over. I'm not, no haps. Almost like a shoulder. See this head and see this right shoulder, even though it's messy. 15-minute is dumping on you at resistance at 39.4. I see more downside because the bulls haven't shown me any ability to get back above its previous. Like, had the bulls ripped through here, right? So again, unless we're making a shoulder, a head, and some type of right shoulder here, I just see more downside. I really do. I see more downside for Bitcoin. And I'm not trying to be the bearer of bear news or be the perma bear here. I'm just showing you what I'm seeing. Now, we do have a reversal pattern here. We do have a bullish div on the 7. We could be making a flag. And so I know this is crazy, but I'd be pulling a fib here. And looking for that 786 retracement. That would be your money printer model. Looking for this bounce off that 786, boom, okay? If you can get it. 1 minute's in a bit of a flag, showing some signs of life. And this is when I get into the smaller time frames, all right? Previous resistance becoming support. Can you stay above the 200 SMA? Now you're looking for what, now you're looking, can the 5 break back above the 200? Super risky long is to risk right here on this long. Less risky long is to wait to see if the 5 minute can break above its 200 and then look for a similar flag or something like this out here. Once you're above the 200 and above this resistance. Is that going to happen? No guarantees, right? 7 minutes says you're rolling over. 15 minutes says you're going to go continue to the downside. I'm only setting up that 1 minute just, for, a possibility here. And so my trading style is about giving time frames their respect. So I'll respect the 1 minute and see what it does. So right now, I would be watching the 1 minute for confirmation. Now, if it loses this, 200 SMA starts to drop, Bear City, I'm looking for more consolidation and then, copper's ready to blow. You know what that means. Bullish. Head and shoulders on the daily. Bitcoin top point ending the second wave. We're in wave 3 now. Still got to go to 15K lows at least to make the flat C wave. Good for you, man. 15K assists in waves in games. See, my man, it's just you're projecting too far into the future. That's what me and Elliott Wave traders just differ from. They have things set in stone that have to be, but that just nothing has to be. Like, we don't have to form that wave that way. We just don't. Like, I know you believe we do, but we don't, And honestly, to do all the things that he said, we're going to have to lose the 200 SMA on the daily first. You know what I mean? You're going to have to lose this 200 SMA on the daily at 33,005 in order to go to 15K. So I think I'm going to know before you do with your long, Elliott Wave lines, like, because you're like watching something from really far away, and I'm like actually doing precise surgery on somebody, like in the surgery room. Like, you get the call from the doctor, like, hey, this is what happened. I'm the one pulling the organ out of the body, right? So point, that's my metaphor, because you're Elliott waving just like, but I'm like going to tell you when the actual, like right now, if we lose this 200 SMA on the 1 minute, then you're going to know that we're actually beginning some type of bearishness. If this 1 minute breaks out and starts to pump, then so the 1 minute's small, but it's going to give us some information as to kind of where the day goes. You want to see this, resistance, 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 boom. I mean, it would be very likely that you would hold that as support. Am I wrong? You have a high volume node, that's a point of control. See how it's a red line on the VRVP? To get this indicator, you're going to go up here and type in VRVP, the visible range volume profile, and you're going to put it on. All right. Shout out to the 1,347 people. Why is there 1,347 people here? Because people like to learn. People like to help themselves. People like to get educated, and they don't like to waste their time. They want to sit with someone that's going to educate them. They want to hear the same concepts over and over again so they can grasp them. Right? Then they want to see that the person actually won their trade today, which I did on Twitter. I showed you, and to the trading group. I'm committed to showing you the trades that I take and the results of them the next day. All right? So for me, if Bitcoin can't get back above 39,430, right? See this resistance here? We call it 450. Expect more downside. This could make an M pattern. I am more bearish than bullish because Bitcoin has not shown me that it can get back above any key areas. It hasn't flipped a 200 SMA. Like the 5 minutes going to have to get above that 200 SMA and actually make it happen. We said that to you yesterday. We never got above it. So there was no reason to go long, like on a macro scale for me personally. And the same thing goes today. Like, I just don't see any reason to open up a massive long here until we can get it back above these key levels. The only reason I would is we can make that right shoulder that I'm projecting, right? And what was it on the 15? Shoulder, head, possible right shoulder, right? But to me, look at the 15 minutes about to dump. So I'm going to get rid of that 1 minute flag for now. You have to draw that on two separate charts, maybe have it waiting for you. So you have a bullish div on the 15, a pretty strong one. So now you want to see these stochastics reset without making a lower high, a lower low. But what am I seeing? I'm seeing this, right, as a bear flag. And that measured move takes us further to the downside. 37,572 is the target for the bear flag. Right now, you SR flip, bounce, bounce, resistance. Just 10 minutes ago, you did a bearish SR flip of this key support at 39,430. All right. Rut-roll flaggy, bro, indicators are so duh. Oops, then Solana hit 120 high last year. Now it's 2024. You're funny. Bitcoin almost lost the 50 MA cloud again. Yeah. The 99 is a group of highly motivated individuals, all posting confluences in the charts, boasting each other's frequencies, and grinding 24/7. If you're looking for a trading home, it is the place to go. Yeah. Leverage Mastery mentorship too. If you want to get into Leverage Mastery and really change your life, I'm telling you right now, Leverage Mastery, it is an extra $300 in my trading group. And I don't like to gouge. Normally I believe you can do everything with just a 99. But if you feel you want to take it to another level, I have a teacher in there that's grinding every single day, giving his heart and soul to everyone in there. And I love promoting it. And I love that we went to business together. And I want my business to help his business, man. Together, like he joined my hands. And I know you become successful by helping other people become successful. That's true success. That's, if you can help other people become successful, you have made it to another level of success. If you've only gotten to be able to get yourself successful, then that's great. But making other people successful is really how you become successful. I'm telling you right now. That's the key to life. Join this trading advantage. You will always remember what you got out of it. Talk to Jenna X on Twitter if you want to get a personal she'll tell you, man. And she got a lot of information. So I love you. I appreciate you guys. And I'm telling you right now, and once you pay the $300, you get the course, and then you get actual mentorship. You get to ask questions with this person. You get to stay close. You're going to be like, well, what did I do wrong? And you really get to talk through it. And we force you to demo trade. You got to do 50 to 100 demo trades. You can't play games. We will force you to be responsible and do the right thing. If you're not there to do the right thing, then, if you want to play games and throw your money around like you're gambling, that's not going to be the place for you. But if you're sick of doing that and you really want to finally responsibly change the way you trade, join my trading group. And then once you got something, maybe the beginning under your belt, jump on into Leverage Mastery. If you keep losing money, but you've been trading for years and you think you know what it is, I don't think you have enough information. I think you need to know more about timeframes. I think you need to know more about London and Asia. If I just said London and Asia and you have no idea what I'm saying, then this course is for you. Invest in every course. Don't trade from YouTube. Investing in anything you can learn. After Lifer class and Master Friends class, the trading group loves to help and will answer questions 24/7. Lifers love to help each other while we practice and gain. Shout out to Love Learning. Thank you for being here. And shout out to all the awesome, loyal people that kick it with me every single day, right? So look, shoulder, head, possible right shoulder here, shoulder, head, possible right shoulder here, right? So now we got some interesting projections for BTC. Can we hold 27? Can we hold 39,000? Is the 27K? Yeah. Can we hold 27K? Yeah. The shows start to blend together after a while. Can we hold 19,000? Can we hold 39,000 is the question, right? This is looking like a bit of a right shoulder to me. 1 minute seems to want to hold us down here out of this little mini flag here. So far, we did get a bit of a breakout. A slight, it's not amazing, but it's got a little bit of some cup and handy vibes. You know what I mean? And if you go real close here, you got... You have 886 retracement. I was like, you almost have 786 retracement. But golden pocket from this impulse that impulse right there, you get basically golden pocket. And a point of control that you just got back above. But I'll be honest, it feels like a false move Monday today. Trading doesn't feel the same. It looks like we won't get as much follow through. I'd be very careful trading today. I'd be in and out and have my trades planned out very, very well. So here, the 5-minute chart looks like the one that could give us a little bit of a gain here. If it doesn't roll over. 7-minute, attempting to turn the tide. 15-minute would have to bend here and come back up. 15-minute wants to dump on us. But I've learned to let the 7-minute do its thing. You got the bullish divergence away from you should pump up to this 200 SMA, even if you are eventually bearish. So I see a short squeeze liquidity grab likely up to this 200 SMA right now on the 7-minute. From there, we could get a bull trap rejection, and then we could really just end up dumping to the downside. Bitcoin must close a candle above 40,100, to remain even 175 to remain even slightly bullish. For me, it's got to get this line right here. It's got to get above 40,400. This previous bounce that became resistance right there, became resistance when it was support there. SR flipped it to the downside. We'd have to revisit that. Really see if we can make that right shoulder. And that's what, and I'm not opening up. Am I going to trade that right now? Honestly, this is what I would like to do. If I see us come up here and struggle, open up the short with my stop up here. I'm going to use the 200 SMA on the 7-minute as my breaker block, and trade it back down to 37.5. That's the trade. That's what I believe is likely going to happen. That's the trade I'm honing in on. I believe I have about 2 to 3 hours to 4 hours at the most to make this trade happen. If it breaks up above here, then I'll look for some type of retest or flag to trade later on. But I'm probably going to miss this long. All right. I'd rather see the long to confirm another move later on than riskily take the long. So that's kind of where I'm at. Now, if I hadn't traded already today and already made a gain, I already made a bigger gain than a smaller loss. And I know where I'm at. If I hadn't done that today, I may be more aggressive in taking the long. See? So like how your trades went that morning, for me, they do affect kind of what I'm going to do for the rest of the day. Because like if I've already been in risk and I've survived, then why do I want to go back in risk for the day? Right? I can go do that tomorrow or tonight. But what I can do is project my next trade. I would love to short this. It would make my trading style would be really comfortable if price does this and then I get to short this rejection of the 200 on the 7. So I'm looking for that to happen. That's what I want. So now I have a handle over price action today. I have an idea of what's likely going to happen. I've projected my possible right shoulder here in case that happens. If we get the push up, we come back down, I'll be like, oh yeah, we may be making that right shoulder. Remember, what's interesting is inverted head and shoulders, they resemble the cup and handle because that right shoulder is really just that cup, right? And then we can get the cup and handle. So Sammy Cup and Hattie to the upside. Yeah, baby, yeah. So that's kind of what I'm looking at, right? Hey, Lois, I think I'm going to go to bed. Hey, Chris, go to your room. Hey, everyone in Quahog loves crypto lifer. Hey, I like to drink beer. And watch crypto. So I see a bounce here on the smaller time frames after all my intense analysis. It took me a while to get here. My brain needed the data to make an assessed idea, and I needed to see the structure. So I see a pump out of this cup and handle. It's a beautiful cup and handle. Do you see it? We gotta get back above the 200 SMA to remain bullish here for Bitcoin. We do that, then we go to 41,000, and then can we break back above this key level at 40,400, right? This right here, where we bounced. Gotta revisit that. I hope I've given you enough information. Does everyone feel they got enough information on Bitcoin? Do you feel lost? Does this give you? Did my analysis give you a lot of information back? I never asked this. I mean, you guys keep coming back to the stream, so I assume through that data I'm getting that. I assume, but it's assumed. I just want to know. Tell me in the comments how this analysis helped you, hurt you, confused you. I want to know. Do you feel better about what's happening today? Do you see the market better? Were you super confused? And then once you saw this with me, you feel like you're in a better spot? Are you, I just want to know. Michael Saylor would have been proud of this. You're funny. Spot on, right on. Are you proud of it though, Jamie? I don't think I could ever make Jamie proud. Jamie's like the father that'll never, ever, ever be proud of me. I'll always try to make Jamie happy, but I'm never good enough for Jamie. Never good enough. Anyway, so this is what I kind of see happening for Bitcoin. All right. And I got some projections for you and ideas, and we're kind of in the future, but we're still watching the present moment in time. You helped me again, Sam. Super nice, TA. Justin Cashmore, we love you. It seems like TA doesn't matter when GBTC is about to dump 15K Bitcoin. It does, because that's how we're able to figure out how to get into the bear flag and make gains when they dump the Bitcoin. You know what I mean? TA shows you where to get into the trade and how to use proper risk management so you don't get banged out. All right. So in my mind, again, they're going to dump. It's not like TA tells us TA doesn't make the dump. There's always another force that creates the dump, but the technical analysis is able to pick up on the force happening on smaller time frames. See, when people start to sell, it's one or two people head to their account and start to sell. then a few more, then a few more, then we get a major sell-off. But it starts small. The smaller time frames pick up on that, and they lose their moving averages first. And they kind of tell us what's happening. So, like, it's almost like a tattletale. Like the 15 and the 1 minute go, hey, they're selling on you. And guys like me are able to see it because I'm super good at watching hypersensitive price action, right? If you're not good at hypersensitive price action, then you'll miss it and you'll get onto the later ideas. But, so this is really logically how technical analysis works. I'm able to see the smaller movements on smaller time frames, which tells me what likely is going to happen. All right. Like, how did I know we were going to bounce back up from 39,000? Well, because the 5 minute really wanted to rock and roll. I saw this trend line being, respected, and I saw the Sammy Cup at handy. And falling wedges break up 68% of the time, and resistance was at support. We came down, beautiful place to put a stop on the other side and take a scalp. And again, you have a point of control here on the VRVP, the visible range volume profile. How would you add that to your thing? You go up here, you'd add VRVP, visible range volume profile. So I'm going to leave Bitcoin alone. Now Bitcoin's pumping, right? So anyone could have taken that trade. I could have taken it if I wanted to. But I don't, I'm not going to force myself to trade every 5 seconds just because I want to. Let's take a look at the super chats. Question from Answer at 11. So the answer at 11 was, Sam, how do you deal with frustration for not trusting yourself and getting out of a long too early? I saw a pump coming from multi, open up a long, but chickened out at 140% gain. Could have made 1,000. Number one, it sounds like you were trading an altcoin for leverage, all right? Right off the bat, that tells me you were in high-risk situation. If I was up over 10%, I'd be super happy for myself. So I would turn that whole situation around. Like, Tesla looks like a trade right there. Stop loss below 150. Entry is now. Take profit is sitting at 615. 200% gains. Again, what do I know? I'm just a guy that looks at the charts every day. Probably never going to happen. But so, in answer to your question, what I think you should look at that is, wow, I opened up a trade. Obviously, you're somewhat of a beginner trader, right? Because you're asking me some beginner questions. Not to be rude. So here's the deal. Your tea is very objective and complete. I like that you handle all kind of tokens and strategies. I love the channel and your love that you put into it. Thank you, man. God bless you, brother. I truly do love everything, all of it, the whole thing, I'm super, like, a lot, I suck at trading. I'm good at investing. Hey, I made a lot of my money investing before I even knew what trading was, really, man. Some people, you'll never have to trade, you could just invest for the rest of your life. Like, there's nothing wrong with that, Michael Saylor has come out and said he's the worst trader ever. He just can't do it. He's just garbage. Guys, this is unbelievable. This was unbelievable. See this? This was unbelievable. Beautiful job. I love this. I never want to be rude. You guys are unbelievable. Get that Bitcoin short out there from last night. And both of the ones that I put on Twitter, they're both really good gains too. Calling Bitcoin is essential, especially when the market's iffy. Not much going on, you call Bitcoin, right? So in answer to your question, I think you should be super happy that you made 140% gains. Like, you should be focused on the fact that you didn't get hit off the market. Yes, maybe it could have been more. So what you ask yourself, how do I get above that? Attempt to use a trailing stop loss, all right? Okay. We love you too and the whole Crypto Lifer fam on a 1-week vacation as a resort in River Ranch with the kids right now, but still tuning in, trading from the phone. Amazing. Where's River Ranch, man? And is it in Florida? Florida Dude Ranch in gaming, Westgate River Ranch. Florida Dude Ranch vacations. Interesting. Tesla earnings today or tomorrow. I have some property at River Ranch also. Interesting. How do we join the trading group? I make it super easy. In the pinned comment section right here, you hit cryptolifer.com and it takes you to the website. All right. One thing you will do, once you scroll down, you will get an opt-in to subscribe to my newsletter. Please do that. Put your email address in here. A lot of places do that. We don't give it anywhere else. We don't, but what you will get is you'll get a weekly newsletter every single Monday and on Saturday. We won't bombard you with anything that won't help you. We won't solicit. I promise you. I value your email. Like, I value the space in your email address. I will not waste it because it's your time, and I value your time. And if you go into your email address, it's basically your time. And if I'm going to have you even take a bit of your time to look at something in your email, I'm going to make sure it is worth your while. Trust me. I don't work 7 days a week to waste your time. I really don't. So jump on in today. I can't wait, to show you what we're going to give you. Send us your email address so we can, meet us halfway so we can extend the hand. All right? I'd love to see you jump on in. So do that. But here, join today, join today, join today. We make it super easy to jump on into the trading group. Get the education you deserve. Stop playing games with your life. We're going to be here for you every single day of the week, just giving you the facts and bringing you to the future, man, and showing you what's happening in trading. All right? I am overall bearish on Bitcoin because I don't see us getting above these previous highs. I just don't, And I'm honest about it, right? For right now. Slightly right, we're slightly making a right shoulder here. You could say it. But if the 1 minute loses this 200 SMA, we're likely going to go further down. I'm bearish, I am more bearish than bullish. I'll give you the token metrics trending coins. I'll be nice enough to do that for you right now. And I believe we got we got Magic Square, Celestia, PYTH, and MANTA Network. Let's take a look at Magic Square and show you what's hot today, no matter what's happening. We'll talk about MANTA too. Tesla does look good to me. My system, I don't know. It's not even to me. My system tells me that Tesla's going to pump. I only do what my system tells me. I don't do what I think, but the parameters that I just put on Tesla tell me that Tesla's going to make a move. So we got a demand at about here, 227, 229. Had a nice pump all the way to 271, but then got sold off with basically the rest of the market. MANTA getting, and I guess people did get their airdrops too as well, right? It's so new, it's interesting, but it also so new, maybe it could just fall off a cliff. We don't know. There's no real of telling. Not a great time to come into the market when Bitcoin's struggling too, right? So you're out of previous support. Could you be double bottoming? There's a chance. For me, if I was really going to swing trade it, I wouldn't fall in love with it. And I'd say, hey, it would have to break this resistance here, this diagonal trend line for me to be excited. Possible double bottom, but once it loses that, it could drop down again right to 207. I might just sell it off and move on. Like, I was just speculating, and I was actually up pretty nice. But I feel like the speculation, and then the way the market was going, I didn't pay attention to it as much. I didn't have that much in the position, so to be honest, it wasn't that big of a deal to me. I put in what I was willing to lose, so I wasn't stressed about it as much as I should have been, right? Anyway, 2.85 is the target if it falls back down and breaks out of the wedge. Sketchy to see, not a lot of information. You could have drawn this trend line and say we did break it. So likely it just it gets sold off. I guess whoever's getting their airdrops keeps getting them and then they sell them off, right? And there's not enough people to get excited about the market to buy back in. So logically, kind of makes sense what you're seeing on the market, right? It's a logical progression of price action, right? Hey, Sam, learned so much from the Lifer course. Make engage in managing risk so much better. Time for the next step. Leverage Mastery course up next. Going to try and do it next month. And guess what? My gains are going to pay for it. Kadena, please. Isn't that amazing? So he came in, he filed. Then this is what I really truly believe. You come in, everyone's like, buy my thing, buy this, jump on in, I'll be honest, I bought some of these YouTubers, and I'm not going to tell you who they are, but they're guys who say, the next 7 million coin every day, and they show you the same coin over and over again. And I bought their stuff. I did, because I was interested. So I bought a couple of their Patreons, right? And you know what they do? They say, I'm buying this coin today. I'm selling some of this coin now. They have no technical analysis. They have no idea where Bitcoin's going. They do all right. They pick some good gains on the low. I'm not going to say they're not, but they pick some good gains. They make it, but they don't give you, they're missing out on so much, and they still charge you $99 a month, right? I just think it's like, whatever. I just feel like as a businessman, when I compare my business to theirs, my business is better. I have a better business, But whatever. there's enough money for us all to be out here. So whatever. But I am a competitive guy, and I cannot take competition out of business. I'm sorry, I can't. And if I could, I would, but I'm just not. You know, there's always going to be a level of competition. I mean, business. That's why we get better prices. Someone comes up with a pillow. It's a nice pillow. They get some really cheap stuff. It's a little nicer than your average pillow, but it's pretty, it's not that nice, but it's better than what you see, and they overcharge. So another guy buys the pillow, looks at it, and he says, man, I could make a better pillow at a cheaper price, and people would appreciate it more. And so he does that. And then someone looks at that, and he goes, you know what? I can make an even better pillow that cools you down, blah, 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 boom. And then therefore, we have so many options in different pillows because of the competition in the pillow industry, right? Should be the same thing here in crypto, But everyone like gets upset when like we talk about a little bit of competition there, But it's like, but hey, man, business is business, right? LAI is in a beautiful cup and handle. I'll teach you how to become a businessman too. Like that's the thing. I hope some of that is rubbing off every day on the channel. And remember, when you're in business, you're your own salesman. Even if you have salesmen working for you, you need to train those salesmen to do it the right way, to sell the product correctly. And you're always selling. No matter what you're doing, you're selling. When you meet people and you're not even a salesman, you're selling yourself. A lot of people brush their teeth. A lot of people put on nice clothes when they go to an interview because you're selling yourself. You want people to respect you. You want people to look at you up and down and say, hey, that person would represent my company top notch. So, and then everyone says, why do you dress up every day? I was like, well, when I used to go to a job interview, I would dress up. So I don't dress up to my own company on my live stream. I'm representing my own live stream, of course. So I believe that, showing up and dressing up is part of it, right? What do you guys like to wear on a job interview? If you were going on a job interview, what would you do? Mitch Ray lost everything. Is he back online? What do you mean he lost everything? I've learned a lot from you, especially on the lower time frame scalping. Got to get a little better at seeing the flags, though. Thank you for what you do, brother. Keep it up. And that tells me I want to kind of look back at that little flag there for Bitcoin. And look, now we're consolidating inside of this little zone above the 200 SMA. And remember, price action is going to move all over the place in the smaller time frames. It's never going to be absolutely perfect. Semi-formal button down and khakis, no tie. All right, I like it. Wear a raspberry beret. I love it, man. Give me a red Corvette. Wear jean shorts with welly boots and a wife beater t-shirt. 3-piece suit every day, baby. Is that what you wear, Hunches? I love it. I try to wear better clothes than the interviewer. I heard Mitch Ray lost big in FTX. Oh, that's sad. I'm sorry to hear that. I knew not to use FTX, and I told everyone I'm not touching it. And, hey, I don't know if I got lucky. You tell me, whatever it was. So, look, I mean, this is something I may trade. It's Tuesday, so I get follow through. There's a lot of people going short. And I have protection of the 200 SMA. And that's a bit of a cup and handle with a breakout. 5 minutes in our favor for the pump. 7 minute could be turning for the pump. Low, high, higher, low. Slight uptrend in the micro sense. Could do anything and turn at any time. Tight moving averages getting close, pump up to the 200 SMA. We're seeing signs of a likely move to the upside here for Bitcoin. Not perfect, but signs. 30-second chart to help us identify some more detail if possible. Computer working, bot formulating, going through brain to think about trade. Should I take trade on 30-second, 1 minute, and 7 minute assessing data? Thinking more, taking time, overloaded. Need to program one more time frame. Would like to see 5 second. 7 minute, looking nice. 39,106 to hold. The universe is a moving place of many different objects and space and time. I like to go on Epstein's plane and hang out on the island. Thank you. You guys are too much. Yeah. You guys have been too good today. Thank you so much. Appreciate it. Oh my gosh, it's been a good time. I love you all. Seriously, it's been too much. Deed. Now I'm gonna do it like you did, right? D-E-D. Did. Oh man. I like to go on Epstein's plane and fly with their girls. It's not funny, actually. It's not funny. Like, it's not like we're laughing, but like what we're laughing about is absolutely horrible. Like moment of silence, really, for dear Lord, please help all the people that were absolutely hurt by that. Like, they don't want to talk about it. Like, I'm sorry, I don't mean to be rude here. I'm gonna change. I don't mean, because things have happened to me too. But but wow. Like, I was making fun. You know what I was doing, right? But like, when I see the consciousness effect of, there's some people that were extremely hurt by that situation. You know what I mean? So I just want to, Anyway, everyone knows I have great intentions. Let's shake it off. So I see a pump here coming for Bitcoin. I really do. 1 minute chart looks ready for a move. Bit of a bull flag. Price, you can keep your stop below the 200 SMA, and you got yourself a bit of a move here. Moving averages are telling us we could get that pump. So I like a little bit of a short here for Bitcoin. I does. Am I going to take the short? I mean the long. Sorry, I see a little bit of a long here. Am I going to take this long? No. Why? Because I already made a really good gain today, and I don't want to ruin it. This is the facts. You know what I mean? But my trading style is telling me there's a high likelihood I'm going to win the trade in front of everyone and look like the man, and my ego will be stroked. So I should take the trade. But I'm okay. My ego's okay today. I don't need to stroke it too much. But look, there's the pump right there, right? It's already up from when we first talked about it. It was what, 39,100. Super chats, Blur, Soul, CRSP, PYTH, and Kadena. Let's take a look at those super chats. So LAI on a giant cup and handle, but is retracing for a possible giant double bottom. Layer AI, right? If you believe in the project, these are great places to be jumping on in, but you got to believe in the project, right? So just do a small amount, bro. All right, you guys, why you guys got to always, it always starts with just a small amount, just the tip, right? Just put the tip in, right? I'm supposed to be a religious man, right? I was a young lad at one point, all right? What do you think about on a roll today? The guy's on a roll over here. He's like a jelly donut over here. He's on a roll. Hey, he's like egg and cheese. He's on a roll. Sorry. How come this looks so much better on the other chart, The 5 minute just was sweet. It had that sweet sauce, Shout out to my lovers of life, everybody. Put a 333 in the comments if you're loving your life right now. If you're happy, if you know that this is the last day, this could be the last day of your life and there's no reason to be upset. Don't get worried. Do not be scared. Take your life by storm and just make it happen. There's something you could do today to make it change. I know you can do it. You're not stuck in your thoughts like you think you are. You are not stuck in your thoughts like you think you are. You are in complete control of your life. Whatever you do, you're in complete control. If I want my channel to make more views, I can make more videos about the right content, or I can sit and think about it, right? Even me, I could continue to grow, or I could sit with what I got. I could keep doing my live stream, take the views, or I could expand and get even more views. It's up to me. How far do I want to take it? How big do I want to go? You know what I mean? You're always in control. You are in control. When I was sitting at 500 subscribers making one video and not live streaming, and I said, well, if I start live streaming, I may change what's going on. I thought about it for a month, 2 months, and then one day I got off my butt and I turned on the microphone and I did the live stream. And when it ended, I was like, oh, and like 5 people saw me. I could have easily turned back right there. It wasn't amazing. It wasn't like I was like, oh my gosh, I didn't make a dime, 2 hours of my time went by, But, 1 or 2 people gave me some feedback and made me feel like it was worth it. And I did it again. And I did it again. And now we're here. I mean, it's just insane. Like, look at it. Like, look, we're all here together now. So, like, I represent the fact that if you do something over and over again, you should benefit from it over time. And that's it. That's it. That's the simple thing. Discipline and focus create success. It's so simple, but everyone tries to reinvent the wheel. Just look at all the people that are successful. What do? 90% of them go to the gym in the morning. They all do it. It's just something you see successful people do. So already you should be like, I should be working out. Even if you don't understand why. It creates endorphins in the brain, which done repetitively make you have a positive attitude and help you get over and help you turn negative situations into positive ones. Period. Like, working out helps you turn negative situations into positive ones by giving you positive endorphins in your brain. That's it. That's what they do. Once you understand that, you have the formula to success. It's a formula. Everyone doesn't realize how simple the formula is. You just got to use the formula. You're a physiological being that I can actually, when I add salt to you, certain things happen. When I add water to you, like I can actually dip and dash like a recipe and you come out different. I'm serious. I can exhaust you. When you go to sleep, I can make you feel better when you wake up. Like, I can change the way you are by what happens to you. So if you know that that's how you are, then you have to actually take control. Don't let now they're trying to take control of you. Your subconscious mind. Then they're trying to get you to go to the store, buy the other things. And really, the entirety of this world is capitalism. Is knowing that you're a being that's hypersensitive to all the environments and trying to use that environment to get you to buy and sell things in their favor. It's really what it is. I'm doing the same thing. I want you to buy my course, look at me, right? But I want to do it in a conscious way, and I believe what I sell will help you. So everyone in the world is attempting to grab your attention. That's what it is. So either you're attempting to grab other people's attentions or people are trying to grab yours. Interesting, right? So I learned to be on the defense. Like, I didn't want to be always being taken advantage of, right? And that's when you decide to become an entrepreneur. And you say enough is enough. Like, I want to create. I don't want to be a consumer. I want to be on the other end of that situation, right? That's what it comes down to. Very sketchy today. Like, I'm not in love with the trading environment. I would have been up already at my $39,200 buy though. But now I got to risk 900. See, the risk isn't working out for me. 77 for 87. Tiny long. If it works out, I'll add to it. It's a $7,000 long, $240 at 30x leverage. Nothing crazy. All right? Nothing crazy. All right, let's get on into the super chats and keep it moving. LAI looks like it's in a great place for accumulation, but you never know. I don't know enough about the project that could even rug pull. I don't know. Unlikely, but I don't know enough about it, so I can't tell you. All I can tell you is what I do know about something. I can't tell you anymore. So Blur, we talked about it. We wanted it to hit the target. It did. It went all the way to 72, like I talked about in my trading group. It's actually still up holding gains while the whole market is tripping. And I see it continuing. I see 99 on the horizon, right? Let's break it down. It lost 61. It's got big support here at 47. But it has big support here too. Let's move this up. Look, if I hold if I hit control, highlight it and hit control, it'll give me another one. Can even do 2 at a time. See that? I just want this now though. Although it did give me both. I figured I would get both. But I just wanted the 52. I got to start fresh, even though I had all this awesome work. But when I do this, I'll copy, and then I'll be able to paste it. But anyway, I gave you Blur for gains in my trading group. It's actually still holding gains from when I put it out. So if you were in my trading group and you got into one of the things that I was looking at, you'd still actually be up no matter what, even though the market's out of control. Hey, Sam, can you take a look at Dot and Crow if you have the time? Shout out to T-Cast for the $49.99 $50 super chat. Unbelievable. Giving. See, everyone loves to give when the market's ripping. I'm getting $300 a session, you know. Look, the trade's ripping. We just made gains. Look at that. Dang, no gains, though. I didn't put enough in the trade. But that's a breakout to the upside. If you did take the trade, you're up now. So I gave you a short this morning. I gave another short that did get stopped out. So I'm 1 for 3. If I close this trade, I'll have lost 1 out of 4. I'll be 4 out of 5 trades for the win. Since yesterday, in 2 days, 4 out of my last 5 trades. Wow, nice pump to the upside. We called that for Bitcoin. But again, lackluster. We got to break above this. If we get above this 200 SMA on the 5, this trade's going to soar. It's going to be a big winner. It's going to be a nice gainer. Hey, anything's better than losing. I'm the king of 3%. I told you that. Right? I'm the king of 3% over here. Bang, bang, bang. And hey, that's a fast cup of coffee. You know, I mean, $10 for a cup of coffee nowadays anyway. Right? How's your Naka? You made me 2,300% gains. God bless you, brother. I'm so happy to hear that. God bless you, man. Ground yourself. Find somewhere to be quiet and just talk to God. God is always waiting to talk to you. I love that you said that. And I'm going to do that at the end of the stream. I'm going to literally sit with God and talk to him. I appreciate you saying that. It's always good to reset. Look at this. Are we at 3? Yeah, look, we're up. We're doing good now. I made 20 beans. Look at this pumpage. We called the pump for Bitcoin. We got in right. We should have gotten even a little earlier than that. But my instincts showed me that there was a pump coming. My brain assessed that there was going to be a pump. I said 7 minutes, and I making gains. I saw the candle about to break out. Stochastics RSI on 5 minute and 30 second told me to make gains. I am a robot. I do this 7 days a week for 1,000 days. I have turned myself into a robot. Oh my God. I like to trade all day long on YouTube. I have no life. I can't take it anymore, man. Remember, beginning of the show, you had to do a super chat. We did it. We got to it. You missed out, then. That means you missed out. Nose hairs, man. I've been cutting the nose hairs and like clumps of hair coming out. You know, you ever see Dumb and Dumber when it looks like they're cutting a gorilla, like tufts of hair just falling out. And they look up, they're cutting their nose hairs. He takes like the grinder to do his foot. He's like, and he starts like grinding his toenail down. He's like, ah. I'm finishing him off. Who are you up there? She's like this like Cruella DeVille up there. But that's just what it feels like. I'm sorry, babe. I'm so sorry, babe. It slipped out. It just slipped out. Yeah, he must work out. That was my favorite. Look at the butt on that. Yeah, he must work out. So you're telling me there's a chance? Yo, it's just one of my favorite movies ever, all time. Like, I watch it I just watch it over and over. Me and my sister watched that movie over and over again, like as a kid. It was one of the only movies we got. Like, I loved it. Like, my name is JP, but I promise I don't sound like that. You know, the pain meds have taken over, man. Pet heads are falling off. My pet's head, yeah. He's like, how the hell does he know that I got gas? Hey, gas man. Pretty bird. Pretty bird. So, previous resistance becoming support. If Blur drops this, you're coming down to hit 42, right? But if you stay above here, there's a chance for going back to 93. So to me, it's worth a shot, you know, especially with the way the market is. So again, you do whatever makes you happy. But for me, it's worth a shot. Am I going to get into this? I may swing trade it. I don't know. I don't like where the 1 hour. I don't like where the stochastics are right now. But we got some momentum to the upside. Let's take a look at our 12-hour time frame. 12 hours about to rip to the 12-hour looks like it can rip. This thing looks like it's about to get some movement for whatever reason. NFTs getting a little more movement. People maybe getting into NFTs on this dip for Bitcoin, presenting an opportunity for Blur to create some market share. Wow, this trade just absolutely ripped for us, everybody. We made some massive gains. We went right to the 200 SMA as I told you we would. I did it again. Sammy, cup it handy to the upside, baby! I should have made way more, but I already made some good gains today, so I'm super happy. Up 14%. And what I wanted to happen, happened. That's the key. That's the key, right? We've added to the gains. But what a beautiful move to the upside for Bitcoin. And we talked about it. Remember I said, I see this cup in it. I showed you it right here. Now you can move the trade to stop. Boom. Now you're break even. You can't lose any money on this trade. And I do this all the time for people. Every day I come on the channel. I show them where I get in, where to put the stop, where I'm going for. Then I show them exactly how I would move the stop into break even. It's like Fisher Price for trading here on the Crypto Lifer Show. All right. And again, I'm not a financial advisor. Nothing I say to do should be taken as financial advice. And you can't do anything I'm doing, by all means. But you can learn from what I'm teaching you. Now, if we flip this 200 SMA on the 5, we are going to rock it. Here's the rejection point. We're either going to get rejected here. This is where I like to sell most of the trade. So if you're in a trade, the smart idea for me is when I hit that 200 SMA, I run over here, I hit last, I go to 75, right? Go to last again and close the long. And I'll take 75% off the trade. If it doesn't hit, I'll keep going. The reason is there's the likelihood of getting rejected here, but I want to get as most as I can out of the trade. This last never works for me. It's impossible. I don't know why. But I thought this was limiting out. So there, I got it. I sold it, right? So now look, I'm still in the trade if we get above the 200 SMA, but the idea is that we got rejected by the 200. Very likely you're going to get rejected by that idea. You kind of want to sell a little earlier, at the very top, I kind of was battling the last there. But that's the idea behind this mentality. Now you're getting high in the stochastics as well. And what you could do now is you could include this inside the bigger channel and just say, well, we didn't really leave the rising wedge yet. You know, you could kind of say, well, we're still in this rising wedge here, so. But thanks for playing with me. Who here made some gains? Who here just made some gains? Bang, bang, bang. And I do this every single day. If you just came to my channel for the first time ever, get excited because now you're going to get to come back. And the fact that you get to come back means you get to learn more. And if you get to learn more, more is coming your way. So get excited, get happy. There's more coming your way. All right. Thank you so much. Shout out to Mento EUW. And that's what I do is I produce gains for people so that they can join the trading group with the gains that they made watching me live. So this is how you start a business. You give free value every single day, over and over again. You just produce free value over and over again. Okay. Once you've done that and people actually gain value, they are going to consider you a valuable person in their life. If you can get hundreds of thousands of people to consider you valuable, you're never going to have to worry about a thing. Trust me. Okay. Just made 24% gains. Thank you. Shout out to Rave Song Records in the house. God bless you, my friend. And I love you dearly. And I hope you have a wonderful day. Don't revenge trade that away. Go play some guitar and go for a walk. Hang out with your kid, make a phone call, and come back tonight. I'm just joking. You do whatever makes you happy. I won't tell you what to do. You might have defiance disorder like me. You probably do. If you were a guitarist, you know what I mean? You do you. Anyway, what is the price target, Chief? Chef? That price target is 39,943. However, we're getting rejected by the 200 SMA and the 5. We needed to get back above that to remain bullish. All right? And I'm just going to end up closing my trade altogether for now. I personally didn't even want to make the trade. I did it for you guys. But again, I did it. I take full credit for anything that I do. All right. Sam, I just made my money back from my 99 trading group. I paid 3 months in advance. Unbelievable. So he paid 3 months in advance and just made his money back on the live stream. Unbelievable. I love it. I love it. Clip that out if we can. Send that to Twitter, man. And then put a post. Dude made his money back on the live stream. You know, this thing actually may continue. Look at it. I tend to sell early. Look at that thing. I didn't get stopped out. Really should just put the stop to break even and see how long I could be in the trade, really. That's what I should have done. It was a freebie. Can we get back above that 200 SMA? 7 minutes says, I don't know. 15 minutes a little overbought too. No bearish div yet though, says we could continue up to the, looks like the 50 minutes going to push. I see a short squeeze coming all the way up to 40,482. That's my target, everybody, and I'm sticking to it. 15-minute short squeeze. Brah. It'll start with the 5-minute gives up this 200 SMA. The 5-minute gives up the 200 SMA. We can open up another long with the stop loss on the other side of the 200 SMA and see if we can get the squeeze to the 15-minute 200 SMA. See? I trade SMA, so once we get above the 5, I'll trade up to the 15. Wow, this trade's still kind of smoking here. Doing pretty good. I sold somewhere in the middle wick there, so we're kind of probably above my sell at this point. Exciting times. I didn't know I was going to make a live trade today. I actually thought I would not. I command you stop having defiance disorder. Never. That's so funny, right? How dare you? I can't do that. I don't know how to do that. Sam, I signed up yesterday for 1 month, already up 1,300 USD on 5 trades. How is that possible? Like, you're just insane. Sam, I signed up yesterday for a month. I'm already up $1,300 on 5 trades. Like, dude, like, I love this. I love hearing this. It's like, it couldn't go better. Dude, the trading group is rocking. Man, we're putting in the work. And even when the market's just dumping, people are making gains. Learning how to trade it both ways. See, like, you're expecting to people be in fear, freaking out. No, people are saying, thank you. I'm making more money. I found out ways to make more money. You showed me strategies and ways to... And the strategies in which I teach continue to play out in front of everybody on my live stream, day in and day out. It speaks for itself. We don't have to brag. We don't have to say a word. Our TA speaks for itself. Our ability to produce. So many people join and learn. Get the education you deserve. Stop playing games with your life. Let's go, baby. Woo! Let's go. Let's go. It's about to drop right now. Yeah, baby. When it drops, I want to see this candle just punch right over that 200 SMA on the 5. And I know I got some super chats, and we're going to be back at 1 o'clock for Bookmap. It's going to be crazy when we come back for Bookmap. We might get a follow-through on this liquidity. Get up out of your seat. This is the time to be alive. You have one life to live, baby. Let's go. Let's go. Yes. Yes. Yes! Come on now! Woo! Everything is going to be great. You're going to be in control of your life, and life is going to be amazing. I love each and every one of you. Thank you for sharing this precious day with me. And remember, rejection by that 200 is very likely. Now we're at the top of the channel. Now look. Now you're likely to be able to short the rising wedge back to the bottom of the pattern. And then if we consolidate, we can make a bigger channel, and then we can trade that later on. I have so many ways to trade. I can now trade most people because I can see most things that they can't see. Get your life revision. Hang out with me. We already we shorted the market last night. We woke up, we long the market today. Hey, we do it like a banjo over here. Shout out to everybody here on the live. Let me finish the super chats, and then I'm out of here for the day. I'm just full of exuberance, love, health, and happiness. You can't hold me down. I think Blur looks likely to get a bit of a pump here off support. Just keep going till the opportunity overtakes the fear. That's what I say. Just keep going till you... So You hit a roadblock, something bad happens. You keep pushing. You hit a roadblock, something bad happens. You keep pushing. You hit a roadblock, something bad happens. You keep pushing. Eventually, the successes from the keep pushes are so much overbearing, and they win out all the losses from the beatdowns. And no matter how many times you fail, it doesn't matter because your successes just continue to overwhelm the losses. But that only happens if you don't stop. You have to keep going. But at one point, you will get to a point where your successes will overtake your losses, and then it will be a landslide of success. It just won't stop. It'll keep coming. And then you have to be mental. Then that's when you have to be humble. Calm it down and don't be pompous. You'll see you're getting more than everyone around you. You'll be propelling your life to another level. That's when you ask God for help. That's when you humble yourself. That's when you break it down. You find ways to bring yourself back down. All right? That's the next challenge in life. If you do get to hit success like that, then there's the next challenge of bringing yourself back down so you don't act like a complete jerk, right? So let's take a look at Blur here in the falling wedge on support with a breakout. This looks likely to me for a move. 192 is the target for Blur. It loses that support, trades a wrap, right? And it could go down. They could try to hit the stop losses. Might put an entry right down here in case they wick people down. An entry somewhere in at like 52. But Blur is interesting for sure compared to most coins. It's hot. It's in an uptrend. It's been blasting since 17 cents. Really hasn't had too much of a pullback, so. Let's take a look at Solana. Solana came to the 786 Fibonacci retracement. Right now, look, it hit the 786 today at 78, and they got a bounce. I wouldn't even expect to bounce back up, but I see it coming to the 12-hour 200 SMA. I really do. And we could take a bigger Fibonacci here. Does it come all the way down to 41? I feel like this is the best impulse right there. Yeah, I've been looking for Solana at 66, man. Route 66, baby. And you can see that I put out this trade here for Solana. It did exactly like we said it would do. I must have put this out yesterday. I see Solana dropping down to 79, 78, and it did that. Why? Because it was below the 200 SMA. Once it's below the 200 SMA, I see it going to the 8-hour 200 SMA. And that's what I said to everybody yesterday on my live. Perfect short for Solana. Funny, I was watching Crypto Wars just for a second yesterday, and it's like, I could help. So many people were trading different ways, and I was like, but the market's telling you exactly what it's going to do. Just listen to the market and stay calm, right? Solana. So I see Solana probably getting a bounce back up to possibly 89, but then I wouldn't get faked out. And I wouldn't be surprised if Solana continues to the downside here. 3-day charts just crossing the 200. Usually you're going to go to the 50-day. I see the 618. I see that 65 level. I see more downside for Solana, personally. Yeah. And again, we'll eventually get the hidden bullish. I know exactly it'll be like this. It'll come back down. We'll still hold a 3X from 20. And it'll be time to pile back in again into Solana. Never buy the highs. Once you have an amazing, crazy rally, you're usually in a euphoria state for another month or two, almost like a month and a half. But people don't realize that, so it carries over into them. Solana further down, likely to 65. I wouldn't be going too crazy. I'd be DCAing in if I liked it. CRISPR Therapeutics. So you asked me about it recently. 3-day chart says it's about to explode. All right. 2-day chart looks good. The daily got to move. It was getting tighter and tighter inside the zone, right? Moving average is getting super tight. 105 is the target for CRISPR. Looks interesting. Let's take a look at that weekly. Weekly's a little overbought. Weekly's going to have to get back above that 200 SMA for this follow through to happen. And you have a major resistance at 74 on the bigger time frames. 4-day chart resetting. 1-hour chart looks like it has to come down for the day. So it looks like CRISPR is going to come back down to its bottom trend line on the 1-hour time frame. So 1 hour comes back down, probably hits 61, gets tight. As long as it holds this trend line, then 105 is really on the cards. That 2-day chart looks really nice to me for a big pump. Tight moving averages above the 200 SMA, a golden cross about to happen. You can see that 50 about to cross the 200 SMA. Look at the last time the 2-day got a golden cross. It was right there. Now we got a massive dump first, and that's what I tell everyone. You can get a dump. What it means is months from there, like the cross happened here in September. By the next year, even later on, by like June, you were higher than you were at that price action, So doesn't mean you can't get a dump. I'm just, what it does say is, things could be getting brighter on the other side. What's the bearish scenario? Honestly, previous resistance, you've SR flipped. I mean, I see a lot of bullishness. Resistance, chop, resistance. You came back, you bounced, so you SR flipped that key zone at 57. I like what I'm seeing here for CRSP. I wouldn't trade it. I don't know nothing about it. I don't trust stocks, but you can just see that I can put my system on any asset in the world, and you can test me on it. A lot of guys are testing me on it. They're like, what did you say about CRSP? And 2, 3, 4 months from now, they're like, dang, everything he said actually played out. That's kind of weird. This guy seems to know what he's doing, right? So PYTH, I like PYTH in the long term. I really do. We saw it breaking out. It had a beautiful breakout. Song's a little boring. So PYTH bounced off 31.65. Sorry. I'm that guy at work. It's like you don't like, because I'm like, and you're like, yo, my man, like, I'm like, what, man? What? I'm just, was I bothering you, man? In my cubicle, I just, people are like, yo, get this guy out of the office, man. He don't know how to be around other people. That's why I got to work by myself, man. Like, one time in my whole career, I got my own office. When I was out in Long Island working for Kevin James, I was given an office. It's kind of nice because the other dude had to use like a shared space with a couch, but I got my own office. I could close the door, I could do whatever I wanted in it. It was so nice, and no one could bother me or mess with me. I loved it. It was great. Sam Price, don't come in my office. I had even had a chair. I had like a really nice leather chair that like you could recline, So when I was like, I'd do all my work and then I could just take off my shoes. I'd take a 15-minute nap right there and just act like I was at my house for the moment, So PYTH looks interesting to me because it's got a swing up and a swing down on the 4-hour time frame. It's hidden bullish divergence. It tells us we could get a bit of a move here. I'm in PYTH personally. So I own a share in there. And I believe it's going to be a big project. It's an Oracle. I believe it's going to be big. And so I'm actually really happy with the dip there down to 22. That was awesome. And we may even get it a little cheaper, but because it got so many people bought it in there, there's definitely some people interested in this coin. It comes up, comes down. As long as it stays above 31, beautiful. If it ever did come back down to 22, I would buy as much of this as I could. Like, I like this project a lot. So I like PYTH. I like where it's at. It had that recent high at 44, came back down to 32. And all the way from that, it basically just did a double up, right? Pretty fast. And it's actually been pumping in the last 3 or 4 days, while Bitcoin's been somewhat struggling too. So PYTH's been hot. I definitely have on my radar. I'm going to put an alert here, and I'm going to be adding to my PYTH bags as we go on here. I'll be honest, I missed 22 lows. I wasn't paying attention. There's other things on my mind at the time, but I will be, if we ever get lower than there again, I will. And even, I even think today, right now, even 37 right now, to me is a pretty good buy. I think I'm going to snatch just a little bit. Not a lot. But I'm just going to grab a little PYTH right now. I will tell you, the Tangem wallet is an amazing wallet if you're buying a lot of coins on MEXC. It supports so many coins on MEXC easily and seamlessly. I think you'll really appreciate it. So if you get the Tangem wallet, you'll be able to back up all your coins on a hardware wallet and take them right off the exchange, almost from GFAL to, like, they have like support for everything. So really one of the best wallets for these little coins. Look, the 777s just flashed too, which is weird, right? So I'm going to grab myself $500 worth of PYTH. Not a lot. I have how much do I have now of it? I only got 1,800 bucks of it. Probably double that. But I believe we could get lower prices too. I'll split the difference at 1,200 and I'll buy more at another time. How's that? But I do believe PYTH is something I want to be adding to as we continue to dump. See, this is the opportunity to add to your bags that you didn't get a chance, or coins that, like I didn't get SEI, I didn't get SUI, right? So these are the times, I believe, to like pay attention. SEI finally losing the 200 SMA in the 4 hour. Now we're looking for the 8 hour 200 SMA. If we don't get it, so what you can do is you can start, I came up with a new concept. I never did this before. I just came up with a new concept with each and every one of you, and that's why you stay late, everyone, because you get the gems that no one else knows. I'm going to start DCAing at moving averages. I've never thought about this in my life, but I should have. I've been using the moving averages, and I've been DCAing. So what I can do is I can buy my first bit when we hit the 4 hour. Then I can set my next bit when we come to the 8 hour. That way, if we do bounce out the 4 hour and then we never get lower, you can say that you got in. Now, if we come down to the 8 hour, you already know exactly when to buy and why. And then if we go to the 12 hour and so on and so forth, you can continue to gobble up moving averages, and then you can coincide them with the 786. And at that point, your last buy should be somewhere between the 786 and the 886 if you believe in something, you know? So I could nibble today and then continue to add. We did get that nice little bounce. The whole market got a little bit of a bounce here today. I'm going to be going over total market cap for the trading group later on. I'm going to put out a video on the total market cap for everybody. I'm not going to do it right now. I just want to make it exclusive for the trading group. So you'll be getting a video about the total market cap just to see key levels that we want to pay attention to. What I like about SEI is it is starting to do a hidden bullish, though, as that's swinging down and this is swinging up, which is hidden bullish divergence, which tells you that the trend will continue to the upside. It was just sitting happily at 87. It is down, pretty much at a discount, about 30% at 61. So for me, pretty good time to probably slightly gobble some of these new projects that everyone is ripping about. And now we can get it. And even then, if you aped in back here, you're still up at 3x, which is pretty crazy. So SEI on my radar is something I want to be, adding to my bags of. SUI, similar position as SEI, and it got the bounce. Look at the 12 hour with the very aggressive curve and some hidden bullish divergence on the 12 hour time frame. As that swings down and that swings up, tells you that the trend could continue to the upside. So SUI also getting some love. Remember, we were in SUI P, which is SUI pad, right? I want to see if SUI pad got the follow through. It should have if SUI got a nice pump today, but you never know. So SUI looks like it's going to continue. Now, SUI could make a double top here. But that 12 hour to me says more is coming. So now that the 12 hour looks good, I could get into a flag on the 5 or the 7 minute. You see? Once I see that like the 6 hour, the 12 hour, the 4 hour are bullish, then I start looking for scalps, because it just makes the fact that the scalp's going to play out so much easier. So I guess we have to kind of look at this idea and say we kind of broke out of this flag, I guess. It's a pretty strange market structure there. That's how I would have to look at it, right? So we're still battling that 200 SMA. You see it? Once we flip that, we can get pretty bullish. The fact that we're hovering right near it tells me we're going to flip it. I almost want to front run it right now. That's the new thing that I did in the last 6 months, because for years I knew the strategy. Then I fine-tuned it. Then I got the ball, I should say the balls, but I got the guts to front run it, right? I would front run the fact that we were about to push above a 200 SMA. Crazy concept. But I've done it now 6 or 7 times, and it's made me some massive gains. So look, this looks really nice on the 3 minute. This looks really nice. And it's Tuesday, where a lot of my setups tend to play out because we get the follow through. Learn what Master Friend teaches you about price action, time, and price. Understand about time and price. How come I win all my trades at certain times? How come I look like a genius at 10 o'clock, at 11 o'clock, right? I'm placing myself in a high probability space, okay? But there's a reason I don't want to waste your time or mine. And so if I'm going to show you concepts and key insight, then I want to make sure you're winning. I'm going to help you win by putting you in the best position probability possible based on the information that I know about the market. Aha. I may not always be 100% right, but I do this every day, so you think over time, I may actually hit it. And I may hit it more and more because this is all I do. I don't have any distractions in my brain to take me out of this. I may get some pizza, pick up my kids, but for the most part, I'm back in the charts yet again. It does not stop. All right. So there's another trade, risk 98 for 309. If I hit that too, we just continue to chip away. I like this trade right here. Okay. And I could easily lose it, but things are looking interesting to me. And the moving averages, I'm front running that 5 minute is going to break above it. Very risky what I'm doing right now. But it's only because I've traded this way many, many times in my life and I feel comfortable doing it. All right. If you have trouble reading my trades, I just want to show you how I send them in the trading group recently and why I'm not even sending a link, just a picture. You're new in my group. Look, open up the picture. Look, it says take profit 40. It's right there. Stop loss is right there. And if I'm in, it means I'm getting in right now. So all the information's right there. Even if you can't see the numbers here, just look. Take profit 46.6. Stop 39.27. All right. It's right there for you to read. I just want to make that clear for everyone. I don't think some people might not realize that. Like, why is he just throwing it up so fast, right? And then I walk away. Either I get stopped out or I win the trade, right? I come back down 100 or I come up $300, right? It is what it is. Let's look at Kadena, Dot, and Crow, and then I'm out of here for the day. SUI looks like it's going to continue to the upside, though. Is the whole market ripping? Are we done with the selling? There's a chance. Did you take advantage of the fear? I've been buying Bitcoin throughout this time. I still kept cash on the sidelines. You see, I got 30K on the sidelines in case. I did not go all in. And I never suggest going all in. I'm always in cash. I always keep a bag of cash for swinging, for getting in and out. When the market gets weird, I get out. When the market's hot, I go in. And I'm always swinging, right? And that way, you'll take advantage of the market when it gives you something worth taking advantage of. I believe the opportunity is coming in that sense, so I believe in it. Now, Kadena looked beautiful for me. I put an alert there. When it hit the alert we got here, definitely a place I would like to get in. It was low stochastic. Everything looked great. Tight moving averages. Well, we got a little bit of a pullback, and then we got a little bit of a sell-off, and that affected Kadena, right? And so Kadena now making a bit of a falling wedge flag as opposed to a tighter channel, triangle. Everyone okay? Okay. I still see some gains coming for Kadena. I liked it. It's staying above its 200 SMA. Let me take a look at the daily. It did slop, though, and it wasn't that technical was in a symmetrical triangle. And in my lifetime, I see them break to the downside. By the book, they say they're 50-50. I think they should be called bearish patterns. I don't see them break out 50-50. I don't know why they're called bilateral patterns. In my life, they break down more than they break up. They're a weak pattern because they wouldn't have formed a symmetrical triangle if they would have formed more of a bull pennant or an ascending. The fact that they're in a symmetrical already tells me that we're in a weaker pattern, right? I mean, this is obvious. Anyway, I'd move my alert here. I still like what I'm seeing for the daily, and it all looks pretty interesting. Some hidden bullish divergence on the 2-day. Swing up while that swings down slightly. It tells you that the trend could continue to the upside. A golden cross coming. And I mean, you're on you got support right there. You're kind of on a support. I would wait for it to flip 107. 107, look, is resistance. Resistance. You get 107, that's strong. I flip 107, I'd feel far more comfortable riding the long. However, this would be the aggressive entry for the long right here where we're at. You do have some support right there, see? And I'm going to show you resistance, bounce, resistance, and that's what you're using. So I like what I'm seeing for Kadena. It didn't pump like everything else. From its lows at 44, it's only still holding a double, which is great. So there's more coming for Kadena, and I like that. Cup and handle for sure. Honestly, this setup looks good to me. I like it better than a lot of other setups because there's just a higher probability you're going to be able to get some gains out of it, and a lower probability you're going to lose a lot. Like I believe there's lower risk to that trade than a lot of other trades. I have an alert on it. I'll be working on it for the trading group at the right time. Wow, Polkadot collapsed, huh? Absolutely collapsed. shoulder, head, right shoulder. Look at that. I mean, easy peasy, right? Head and shoulder pattern. Broke the neckline. You're going to drop. Simple stuff. Polka dot, right? Ran up, ran down. So what now? Well, it's basically following Bitcoin. Why is the stream going till 12:30? Why? I guess we started trading. We had some fun. I was just in a good mood, and I couldn't stop. So, I don't know. You tell me. Not good for the algo when I beat down the viewership to this point, you know? It's nice when I get out at the highs. But I love doing what I'm doing, and people ask about TA. I don't want to leave anybody. I truly don't want to leave anybody hanging. I understand, you know, every single person that asks for TA, they could be like, I care about my business. I don't want someone to come to the live and say, I asked for a TA and I didn't get it. As long as I do it, we can timestamp it, and then we can say we got it done, right? So look, we have previous support or resistance even right there. Resistance, 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 bounce. That's a really key spot, 577. And the target is 1225, right? I like what I'm seeing here for Polkadot. As long as you hold above 577, you have a good chance of getting a bigger, you know, that bigger move. Golden pocket's right there at 575. So I'd be looking for Polkadot to come into this golden pocket. This was a beautiful retracement. It gave us the perfect places to start a DCA. Now, even if we dump even further, these are just good places for me to begin a DCA, but it tells me Polkadot 575 would be a great place to be getting it in. Now, if we take a black swan, the whole market dumps, we go to 20, 31, 25K, then Polkadot will go to 420. You may even get a triple bottom here. But if we get a decent retracement, Bitcoin gets some type of bounce here, and we go somewhat sideways, that's probably going to be your low for Polkadot right there at these prices. I'd be watching Polkadot in that golden pocket for sure. Definitely where you want to perk up your ears, so to speak, and start paying attention, right? Polkadot. All right. Let's take a look at CROUSDT. Now, Crow was in that. Remember, it was like one of the trades that I really liked. It was getting tighter and tighter. Everything was going well. Looked like it was gearing up, and the market took us to the downside, right? So now you're in the falling wedge, and you pull the fib. Same idea. To me, it's all about that golden pocket 786 fib retracement. Funny, not only these coins have much more to sell off, but they'll be right back where they started again, which is pretty interesting. I've seen this happen. The VCs miss, and what they do is they dump Bitcoin to get the prices where they want for the altcoins so they can continue to move where they want, right? And that could bounce off the 618.75, so you're looking, again, it's just like DOT, very large market cap. You're looking for these pullback areas for Crow. But that definitely looks to me like a buy zone, anywhere between 6.7 and 7.5. But I could be wrong. Go to zero. You never know. I'm not a financial advisor. Nothing I say should be taken as financial advice. I'm in MOVR right now. I've been sitting in a trade just waiting for it to eventually make a move. It's taken forever. It's been going sideways for days. Look at this. Hasn't lost compared to the rest of the market, though. You see that? Touching the 21 at the golden pocket. I'm in this trade right now. And we'll see what happens. I got a limit order just waiting to sell it. The only order I have open, right? Open orders, MOVR. Oh, that didn't buy? That didn't fill? Bitcoin. Why was I trying to buy Bitcoin at 237? Wow, that's sad. So I didn't buy the Bitcoin at that price I was trying. What the hell? Sometimes you buy one asset, it'll keep the price for the old asset in there. I've seen that happen. But yeah, I want to sell 58 order amount MOVR. Let's take a look. Yeah, but I've had that order open for since this popped, right? We never made it. But MOVR looks interesting to me compared to the rest of the market. Seems to be holding its gains better than most. Target is 55. All right, I'll be back in half an hour. I got to take a break. I love each and every one of you. I'll be back on the Bookmap live stream on their channel. All right, on the Bookmap channel. Let me kind of show you where that's at, what goes on there. Dev AI is a great project. Interesting. Haven't heard about it yet. $2.4 million market cap. Ethereum. I'll do a deep dive on it. We'll take a look at it. Integrates artificial to compute, deploy customized contracts based on users' inputs. Set parameters, taxes, deploy, verify, liquidity, burn, or lock, enabling trading and much more without any coding knowledge and a friendly user interface. On average, the deployment through DevAI is achieved under 1 minute. As the name suggests, DevAI is a contract developer AI. Pretty cool. DevAI. All right. Have you seen Orbs? Yeah, I'm in Orbs right now. I own a bag of it. Yeah. Up $24 in the long? I got to go in a meeting. I don't want to pay attention to that. Yeah, I just kind of... take a look before I jump on out of here. Very overbought on that 5, on that 7. The 1 broke above its 200 SMA. The 5 got above. So as long as the 5 stays above this 200 SMA, I stay in the trade. Oh, so we got the pump. Look, I didn't even notice that. We got the pump. Dude, we nailed the trade again. We got the pump to 39,600. Like, no one said anything. I made another beautiful trade for you. Like, if anyone got in, look, you got in at 39,100 and you pumped all the way to 39,600. Stop loss was brought to break even a long time ago. Look at that. Beautiful trade. We did break the 200 SMA. We did get the pump. As long as we stay above the 200 SMA now on the 5, we're good to go for the rest of the day. That's going to be your locked-in point to continue. Second, we break below it, I'm out of the trade. So I stay in the trade for now. There's no reason not to. I forgot I was even in the trade. All right. Bearish formation on the lower time frames. I don't know. As long as we stay above the 200 SMA, I disagree. You know, there is some bearish divs slightly forming there, but as long as we can stay above this yellow line on the 5-minute time frame, we're on our way for some bigger moves. Look at this. Shoulder, head, right shoulder kind of gives you a neckline here. And that says you go higher too as well. Interesting. And I gave you yet another trade that played out live on the channel, right? So I'm constantly giving you guys live trades on the channel, and I'm showing you how they play out over and over again. Everyone says, oh, I get stopped out every time I use leverage. Look, I'm using 30x leverage. I'm doing it with proper risk management. I know, and you know, I'm scaled in. I'm dialed in. I know what I'm doing. I'm not throwing my money around. I'm using leverage extremely responsibly, right? So, all right, everyone, I love you. God bless each and every one of you. Thank you for being here. Shout out to everyone here on the live. I'm keeping the trade open, right? Move stop loss to entry. Pay yourself and let her rip. Exactly, right? Thank you for the lifer likes today, fam. You are the best in the world. God bless to everybody here on the live. Thank you for jumping on in. Appreciate each and every one of you for being here. Shout out to almost 1,000 likes here on the live. $98 in chat revenue. May God bless each and every one of you. Trades bumping up $21, 6%. We continue to add to our wins. I love you. I appreciate you. And I'll see you all tomorrow for another beautiful, absolutely amazing live stream. And thank you, everyone, for being here. I really appreciate it. Gratitude is the attitude. I won today because I had gratitude. I woke up this morning in gains because I had gratitude. You know, I made a call for the short last night, and we won because gratitude, man. So may tomorrow be as blessed as today was, because today is already starting off so amazing. I don't know how much better it could be. God bless. I love you. I appreciate you all, and I hope you have a wonderful day. Remember, there's always opportunity in the market, and focus on the positive things that are happening in your life. Do not give in to the negatives. Continue to push. Oh, yeah, the bookmap link. I got to give you the link to bookmap. I knew I was like, in my mind, I was like, you were doing something. Whenever I'm about to do something, my mind reminds me, Sam, you were in the middle of doing something. And then it'll go off like an alert. Like, I'm like, so here's the bookmap channel here. I got it loaded, and I'll put the link. And there should be a picture of me there, scheduled at 1. And here's the link. And I'll see you there. It looks like we may be able to extend. I'll probably have the trade open in 20 minutes, and we'll see what happened to this trade. Slumping a little bit now, right? But as long as that 5 minute stays above, up. Second we lose the 200, it's over for me. And we're very overbought in the Stokes with some bearish div. It looks like we're coming down. Can the moving average bots keep us from dumping? My bookmap settings are so simple. I think we do have a bookmap video, yeah. Yeah. Can't see. Oh, yeah. I see bearish div, about to break the 200. I should have sold at 615. I didn't see that. See, that's trading and streaming don't always go in hand. I'll tell you that. Second we lose this, we're done. If we stay above this, I stay inside the trade. So it's all about this yellow line to me. I'll be staring at this for the next 5 minutes. Everyone, I love you. Appreciate you. Have a wonderful day. Stay squared up. You know what I mean? Always keep a pocket square handy and stay fresh to death. Even you ladies out there, you can wear pocket squares. We can start the new line of ladies pocket squares, man. Doesn't have to just be dudes. I love you all. I appreciate you. And I'll see you later on in the trading group. God bless you. And thank you for being here. I'll see you tomorrow on the live stream. Over and out. We did it again, baby. Hey, the gains, baby, the gains.